Hello, everybody. It's that time again. Can't stop the signal. No matter what happens, I have to do my mental health evaluation once a week and shout it at my monitors. As people react very far away, flood the chat with their insanity, with their nonsense. Oh, jeez. Should I stay? I'm tempted to just like dive in to my complaints for this week, of which I have many. I have a substantial number of complaints. I could also cover nonsense, just the regular bullshit, for fun. Though I will say this, because I assume that the people who were listening at the very beginning of the stream are the most interested in random shit that I do. I'm again not going to stream video games this weekend, probably. Though I don't know, who knows. The funny thing about weekends is that weekends are the most frustrating time for me, because when there's issues and I'm trying to fix them, nobody works on the weekend. So it's like, who are you gonna call? Nobody's like, everyone takes the weekend off, so you're just like sitting on your hands for 2 days, but you still want to fix things, so you're just not very productive. You don't really have much outlet. However, not this weekend, the 17th, next Saturday, I have messaged Jim, who is now on Post, by the way. It's just Post, I think it's just Jim, right? Yeah, at Jim. poa.st/@Jim, or at Jim@poa.st if you're already on the Fediverse. He's there because what's his face got Medicare banned from Twitter, so he finally has opened a Post account, a Fediverse account. And I believe that Ricada is also going to open a Fediverse account. I don't know if it will be on Post. I know that Dick wants to get back on the Fediverse, and I don't know. I guess people are finally waking up to the fact that they should have made a fucking Fediverse account years ago. And the Fediverse has been functional for years at this point, and people are just like, well, my audience is already baked into to Twitter. I don't want to try and force people to adopt a new technology. However, I will say, based on the fact that 2,100 people are watching on Odyssey, and a couple hundred more sprinkled throughout the other options, it appears that everyone has finally realized that, yes, we do in fact need alternative technology to the mainstream. Everybody, for years, even during Trump, when people were being like mass censored during the Trump shit, everyone was just like, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, they're the biggest. And it doesn't work on my TV. I can't put Odyssey on my TV. I can't cast it to my TV. So I'll stay on YouTube. I think it's setting in to everyone now at this point that this shit's kind of fucked. This is pretty retarded. It is now time to get over the fact that you can't cast your shit to Chrome on your television set. You spoiled flossing, curly pasta haired zoomy zooms. Or it's funny if you're like someone who is very young, like if you're 18 right now, I want to like contextualize how spoiled that sentiment is. When I was growing up, and I now get to say this, it's been so old, I had dial-up. So when you download a movie right now on the internet, you probably have a connection that's like 20 megabytes per second. We had, I think it was like 32 kilobytes a second. So you have a connection speed which is approximately 1,000 times faster than what I had, and that's all I had to download shit. I had to download MP3 5 megabyte MP3 files for if I wanted to listen to Tub Thumping or All Star by that one band. I had to wait like 4 minutes for it. You have no fucking clue the agony. And now it's like, well, here's a streaming platform that works perfectly well, but it doesn't cast on my television. Fuck off. Deal with it, you fucking zoomer. Ugh, jeez. Smash Mouth, that's right. Okay, so that's that. The Queen's dead, in case you've not heard. Queen Elizabeth is dead, which means they will stop putting her fucking face on all the coins, so I can finally get some coins from British territories that I would actually want. I don't want anything with the Queen on them. I find her repulsive. I don't know why. Though I watched a movie once about the Queen. It was like a 2017 movie about Princess Diana's death and how the royal family reacted. And it made me realize that although I don't like the Queen, I do think she's the best of the English. And now that she's dead, the English are collectively worse off because their peak has dropped. So, however infinitesimal that is with the number of English people still alive, the fact that she's dead has worsened the condition of their phenotype considerably. Now you have King Charles, who is going to die soon. There's speculation that he will simply pass the throne on to the next one, his son, I guess. Because they think that it would be better if the monarch ruled a long time. Like if King Charles dies in the next year or so, then the Republicans will get their way and the monarchy will be disestablished. Very, very strange times. My website dies and so does the Queen. Maybe there's some correlation there. Okay. So that's that. What do you guys think? Should I talk about the forum stuff first, or should I talk about locale stuff first? I do have a little bit of like miscellaneous fun things to go over. I'll leave it up to the chat. The chat. Queen Sargon. Sargon the Queen. Forum. Okay, let's talk about the forum. Everyone seems anxious to hear about the forum. So last week, if you are listening to this podcast as a podcast and you don't have any idea about what I do off the site, then last week you would have heard me talking about Cloudflare and how they published a very strong statement in defense of the Kiwi farms and how they wrote about their policies and how they leave things up to the justice system and how it's a bad precedent to allow a social media campaign to remove DDoS protection from a website so that the website can be subject to DDoS attacks. Very strong statement. Very, very galvanizing. It left a good impression. It seemed very sensible. It seemed very professional. You would be then shocked to hear that the next day at 6 p.m. on Saturday, on Labor Day weekend, Matthew Prince pushed out a much less professional, much less sensible, much more defamatory statement that looks like this, called Blocking Kiwi Farms with Kiwi Farms stylized incorrectly. It is, in case you're wondering, it is two words, both words proper case, and it's also a, like the Netherlands. It has a "the" there, an indefinite article. Unlike Ukraine, which is not the Ukraine, it is simply Ukraine. Kiwi Farms is more like the Netherlands than Ukraine. Anyways, Matthew Prince put this out, and interestingly, and I do want to point this out, if I have the capability to do so, I just want to see the blog. I just do this. Somewhere there's no way to go back and forth. Okay, so if you look at this article, which was put out first, and this was what I read last stream, you'll notice that this woman named Elisa Starzak, who I believe, I don't know, she looked kind of Asian, but she is the PR person for Cloudflare. And this article is very professional, very well written, very easily understood, flows into each other correctly, and is all around a logical statement. This one, without Elisa, unlike all the other posts that Matthew Prince put out, does not flow. It does not make sense. It does not come across as rational at all. It is kind of bizarre. So this is the message. I think I could even, no, I can't. I moved all the domains off. The message that you got for any of my domains, not just Kiwi Farms, for over a week has been a blanket statement that just says we blocked this website due to an imminent threat to human life, and it links to this page, which states very roundaboutly how they are not hypocrites and how they've not backtracked their own statement. They not backtrack their previous statement. How this is in line with their policy. They're totally not panicking. This is not Matthew Prince shitting himself, and they're totally in the right. And they do this by citing imminent threat to human life, which they do not elaborate on. I kind of wrote about this, but I want to elaborate a little bit. It has been a week since this message was posted. I have not been contacted by any law enforcement. I was not told by Cloudflare what the threat was. I was not given any indication of what this actually is, and it's basically left up to the imagination. Your guess is really as good as mine in terms of what they saw that they are now claiming is a threat to human life. In the roundabout way that they talk about this, sort of makes it so that I can't prove them wrong. Something somewhere out there gave Matthew Prince the inclination that there was an imminent threat to human life, and that is not a legally challengeable statement. I can't say, no, there's not, look over here. It's sort of like he thinks that, and that's good enough. And it's bullshit. The only thing I can think of, the only thing that I found was that there's a guy, and at first I thought that this was an intentionally distressing statement that he was trying to make to scare people. Someone said, hey, they said that they were going to go to a poutine shop, and there's 14 poutine shops throughout Northern Ireland. So some smartass anime avatar fuckhead makes a post that says, I know a couple of IRA boys that live up in Belfast where they're at, and we're going to bomb all those poutine shops, and we're going to station IRA guys out there to try and find this person. And then he deleted his post 14 minutes later with the deletion message being retarded, as in my post was retarded. Probably because it was pointed out by 8 different people that it was a retarded post and was reported 7 times. So every 2 minutes, somebody reported this post until the user deleted it. And then 18 minutes after, Ride responded to the reports. So 32 minutes after the post was made, Ride actioned the reports, which it was already deleted at the time, but he probably would have deleted it because he said that he didn't have to delete it because it was already deleted in the message. And I think that this is what was the casus belli of taking down the site, because it was down minutes later. So this post, 14 minutes of lifetime, was screen cap, posted onto Twitter, and resulted in Cloudflare taking action on a Saturday, on Matthew Prince personally, on a Saturday, a day after the previous statement, which was a recommitment to not being the moderator of the internet. And contrary to that statement, this one actually explains that they are the moderator of the internet, because not only did they report the content to authorities autonomously, they also decided that authorities would not respond fast enough to this imminent, urgent danger, which apparently only they could stop by blocking access to the site. And he also stressed, I think it was in this statement or in a press statement, that the blocking Kiwi Farms was easier to him as a judgment call than blocking the Daily Stormer or 8chan. So which is a lie, obviously. It's one fucking post on a site that was deleted by the time Matthew Prince did anything. IMO, in my opinion, something happened, and there's speculation. Someone told me that they have an insider. I don't know if this is true. This is just fourth-hand information. He said that MasterCard and Visa card threatened Cloudflare, so he had to come up with a bullshit reason to justify this erratic response, this whiplash from his second post. And this is what he came up with: that it was the Kiwi Farms, and keep in mind that Cloudflare is a site that hosts terrorist websites. Literally, they host ISIS affiliates that host videos of people being decapitated and set on fire. Actual terrorists. Matthew Prince said that the Kiwi Farms was the worst site he's ever seen, and it was an urgent threat to human life that was never explained to anyone. Nobody ever talked to me about. I was never identified to me by Matthew Prince. But you think, if it was such a huge issue, then I should be notified, right? So that I can correspond with law enforcement. No, that didn't happen. The other thing, by the way, was that someone took a picture outside of Keffel's apartment with a note, and they mentioned the Kiwi Farms. Problem is that this post was made on poll on 4chan. So either he deleted service for the Kiwi Farms for over what was effectively a joke that lasted for 14 minutes. It was up for 14 minutes. Deleted quicker, by the way, than Facebook deleted the Christchurch shooting video. or he revoked service over a post that was made on a different website. And I really don't know which is worse in terms of bad judgment calls, but it makes much more sense to me that he simply got threatened by something. The other fun thing, and this was pointed out to me. I don't even have this on Firefox. This is an interesting video, and the content of it is kind of boring. It's basically like a talking head thing. Enterprise Summit, it's called, from 2015. And we have a nice lineup of three intelligent gentlemen here. One of them, the one in the green, is Matthew Prince, CEO of Cloudflare. And the other one, I think it's the guy on the left. His name is Michael Yanka, or Yanka. I don't know how you pronounce that. The interesting thing about Michael Yanka is that is the CIA, ex-CIA, I don't know if he's ex-CIA here, the CIA or ex-CIA agent who is the father of Isabel Loretta Janka, the woman that coaxed Chris into raping his mother and boils small animals alive and brags about it on Discord. They're related. That person who does those things is related to one of those guys sitting on the couch, and they know Matthew Prince. Isn't that an interesting chat? I really don't. It's a small world. Yeah, small world. 7 billion people on this planet, but there he is, ex-CIA officer, contractor, whatever the fuck he was, father of somebody who basically was a psychopath, a soulless. You know, it's funny. You can pull up a picture. Watch, I'm gonna show you something. The gateway to the soul really is in the eyes. And this won't translate to people who are just or just listening, but I do want to show something. Like, you look at like his daughter, and you look at like her dead, soulless eyes, like literally like psychopath. It's like in the Thing, the horror movie by what's his face. Anytime a character was possessed by the Thing, he would digitally edit out the backlighting in the eyes, so there was no glint of light in them, and that was sort of like his director's cue that person was no longer who they were. You can kind of see that with this. They don't really look like a person with a soul. Same kind of vein. You look at Keffels, and you just look in the eyes, and you're just like, there's nothing there. These people are like skinwalkers. They're like aliens hobbling around in flesh suits, making decisions that impact real human beings, but there's just not like a fucking thing going on behind those eyes. See what I mean? It's really stark to me. The fluoride stare. Yeah, pretty much. So there's lots of fun theories about why the site went down. I don't know. I'll tell you what it might have been. This is a really good one. I mentioned that Liz Fong Jones, the weirdo who was like in a relationship with a snake tranny, threatened to have a protest at Cloudflare Sydney in Australia, and 50 people were planned to go to this convention center in Sydney to protest for 3 hours. And this actually happened, even though Cloudflare revoked service. And you can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The guy said that there were 7 strong at their peak, and they're having a nice little picnic over here. And then you can see Liz Fong Jones doing the Virgin walk away from their little protest. It's very scary, very terrifying. If I was Matthew Prince and I knew that these forces were after me and my livelihood, I would properly shit myself. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with these incredible shows of power. 50 Fong. Also really funny is that Liz Fong Jones bought a tranny cake. And from what I understand, most of it went into the trash because there was only like 3 people there. So here's the tranny cake. They posted this on Twitter. I can confirm that the tranny cake did not get eaten and did go into the trash. I think the estimate given was about 41% of the cake was eaten, and the rest went into the trash. So That's Cloudflare. Cloudflare dropped us. So on and so forth. And the big thing that caused was that all the DNS shit was all the domains that I own, not just kiwifarms.net, were suddenly not being routed correctly. And that's still not fixed. Like the kiwifarms.cc instance went down, everything went down, the email server became inaccessible. My email, I still can't send emails because my DNS is not fixed. And because Cloudflare decided to cut service without even giving me like a day's notice, I couldn't use the old DNS records as a reference, setting up the new ones. So I just kind of have to reconfigure all that manually and look up references one at a time to figure out what they should be. Huge pain in the ass. Not looking forward to it. But what can you do? The other interesting thing that happened was that after Cloudflare dropped us, and it was brought to my attention, I think HCAPTCHA is a subsidiary of Cloudflare. We used HCAPTCHA to protect logins. So if you tried to log into any account too many times, the account would be protected by HCAPTCHA, and you would have to complete a CAPTCHA anytime you try to log in thereafter. And this is just to stop automated login attempts to brute force old accounts that have weak passwords. A lot of users created accounts with their password being their username, so those got broken into. Bit of a pain in the ass. One such immediately after Cloudflare dropped, HCAPTCHA also dropped us, which is just fucking hysterical that a CAPTCHA API can revoke your service so you can no longer have a CAPTCHA on your website. To give you an idea of how centralized the internet is. But I had to take that down and I replaced it with a much weaker, locally hosted text CAPTCHA. And soon after that, there were hundreds and hundreds of attempted logins a second on the alternate domains that I had picked up. Right now, the site's on kiwifarms.top. It's on Vanwa Tech. Vanwa is the same company that hosts 8chan. They're not doing too well. You can only access it directly through IPv6. So if you don't have IPv6, particularly if you're not on a mobile network, you will not be able to access kiwifarms.top. But before that situation, before it became IPv6 only, there were hundreds of login attempts a second. And then after that, another account, which had been inactive for over a year, because the other one was inactive for like 2 years before it came back online. Another account comes back online and makes a similar threat. So I'm pretty convinced that there is a coordinated effort to log in to old accounts, bring them back online, and then post violent threats that cause us technical issues, because no service provider in the world will tolerate violent issues. Yes, Tor is working. So one of the things that I managed to get set up is Tor. So I can't give you the Tor URL because it's quite long. But if you manage to find it, for instance, if you go to t.me/kiwifarms and you look at my recent post, you'll see a long URL that starts with UQUUSQSAAAD, or the UQ sad chads. The UQ sad chads are the ones who are active even though the site is down. It's all gone to shit. I will like to explain, actually, briefly, how to access the site via Tor, because it's, I think, a lot, like, we get a lot of traffic despite being Tor only right now, but I just kind of want to explain to people how it works. And it's quite easy. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Okay, hold up. Let me try to do this real quick. See if this works. So called the Tor browser. You can download the Tor browser directly, and that also is fine. All you do is you press Alt-Shift-N, not Control-Shift-N. And if you don't see Tor connected successfully on the top left, you're not connected successfully. Paste in the URL, press enter, and you have to wait like 30 seconds. Because the way that it works is that it has to first build a circuit, and then once the circuit is built, it's basically instantaneous. It doesn't have to do that but once. So you just boot it up, wait for it to say Tor connected successfully, paste in the URL, wait a second, there's a little interstitial page to help with bots from that end, and then you're back on the site. And the site loads basically instantly, as if you were on the ClearNet site. It's really fucking nice. I worked very hard to get it working that well, just so you know. So make use of it while you can. Can't muted. How am I muted? How am I muted? I hate OBS. I clicked somewhere and it dropped my microphone to like -60. So it looked like my thing was enabled, but it had me, my voice was crushed. I hate technology. I hate technology so much. Are you starting a website? Yeah, no shit. It's just so fucking annoying. Anyways, that was I'm gonna cut that out. So just to reiterate, what you do, very simply, I'm gonna get rid of this again and restart it. It's because I have to close out the browser. So very simply, Alt-Shift-N instead of Control-Shift-N, and then what you will get is on Brave. If you just download the Tor browser, you don't have to do that. And then you just paste in the URL. Once it says Tor connected successfully, it will take about 15 to 60 seconds to find a circuit. So the first time you load a page, it has to figure out where that page is in the onion, and that takes a little bit. So once you open it and connect and paste in the URL, you're going to have to wait just a little bit for the site to load up. You're going to get this interstitial page, which helps with bots. And then once it verifies you as being not a bot, you will be forwarded to the actual site, which will load also a little bit slowly the first time because it has to download all the assets as if you've never visited the site before because it's on Tor. But once you do that, the site loads very fast, and it took me a long time to get it working so well on the onion. So make use of it. Super, super simple. That's all there is to it. Okay. So that is your explanation of how to use Tor, especially on Brave. Tor bros are now so cocky. Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. It's just a pain in the ass, and it does drain like your battery really fast on your mobile phone. If you're on your mobile phone, you have to download the Tor browser, but you cannot use Brave, unfortunately, for that. Where the fuck is my Firefox executable? I want to show people my Firefox again. It's deadass just fucking gone. I really hate technology. Maybe I have to open it. Where's my tranny cake? I just showed everybody my tranny cake. Okay, let me try restarting it. I'm never going to be able to... Okay. So, okay, I mentioned that we're now on Tor. That's great. I got my tranny cake back up. Everything's fine. So the other issue is that basically everything is kind of broken right now. I have been fighting with my internet service providers for months, literally months, since December, to try and get something set up so that we have a stronger upstream and I can do more robust things with networks. I've not been able to get that set up. I managed to get that half set up this week. And it coincidentally, by the way, shit out this week. So we were down for like a full 2 days completely across the internet just because of routing issues. Then there were other issues with the router. There's still issues with the fucking router. Like, it's it's just so tiring, and it's so tiring because I can't get anyone to talk to me. I file support tickets and shit, and it takes forever. But things are on the up and up. I mentioned that I've been complaining about the networking shit for 2 weeks now. I managed to get that working. The site is up. I can't stick my neck out too far because it will get whacked again. DDoS attacks will come in. We'll lose service providers. So I'm kind of laying low, and I'm mostly focusing on getting the site working with Tor. But I'm bringing things back up online slowly as I can. I managed to get into contact with people who are very pro free speech and who are now trying to help me get set up and have our situation be stabilized. There is someone very, very, very promising that I've gotten into touch with 2 days ago. I had a phone call. This guy emails me and says, I want to talk to you. I want your phone number so I can call you and talk to you. And that was the first person who has ever done that in regards to the Kiwi farms. And this, like, usually I can't even get an email. I didn't even get a fucking email from Matthew Prince explaining like what the issue was and what I should do or whatever, or what he's upset about. No emails ever. Then this guy emails me and he says, we should talk. I talk. It's like him and an assistant, and the prognosis is very good. There are resources being committed to getting the site back up right now. But they're in the work, and the weekend's coming up, so chances are it won't happen before next week, but next week is probably where things are going to start turning around. I don't regret, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that the site has been down for the week, but I think that it is a good thing ultimately, because I realized probably too late that the weirdos on Twitter are just like upset. Like there's no such thing as negative attention to them. They don't exist. They have felt neglected like their entire life, so they don't exist, and they want to be important. They want to have their life have some kind of meaning. And then when there's this back and forth with like people in the forum constantly, and the people in the forum are emotionally invested for whatever reason. I'll say something a little bit personal, right? I went to a doctor for a checkup, just a routine checkup, and he said that I have, I think, bradycardia. My heart rate doesn't go above 60. I'm like Hannibal Lecter. If you read the news articles about me, I'm apparently murdering trannies every day, but for some reason my heart rate never goes above 85. When you listen to me and I sound very chill, I am literally cold-blooded. I do not, even when I'm stressed out, I have like a breathing thing that I do. I keep my pulse very low at all times. So I'm not, I'm relaxed. I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. I did a test today, actually. I'm not dying. My heart's fine. I'm just chill. I'm very chill. So everybody who's emotionally invested in this and are like, I can't believe that these troons are getting away with this and so on and so forth. You got to be a little bit more like me. You got to embrace the pizza lifestyle, the chill lifestyle, and you have to relax and realize that being upset and getting angry on the internet isn't going to cause them to back off. It's just going to galvanize them. In the same way that the forum would look at someone who's like a lolcow and the spurging out they do on Twitter about the Kiwi farms, this mob is predatory. It's an inverse of roles. That they are ideologically aligned to become a reptile. They're ideologically aligned to trying to kill the site, and they want you to be upset. When you're upset, they're happy. They want to like, there was a tweet that someone showed me, and it was an author for Harassment, which is the Israeli publication in Hebrew, and this guy who's a real editor, a journalist for Harassment, is sitting on Twitter, and he's writing in Hebrew about how he can't say what he wants to do to me because it would get him banned from Twitter. So these are people who are like, it's like they can get away with saying whatever they want. The forum has to be lighthearted. Its purpose is to be lighthearted, but you also have to be. It's a place of humor. But on Twitter, it's like they actually want you to die. If they could kill every single person on the Kiwi farms, they would. So they want you to be upset and they want you to be angry, and it's just like, just don't. And if you are upset, which you can't control how you feel, but you can control how you react. You're upset, don't let them know. Why would you show your hand? Go play a video game or something. Or embrace the bradycardia pizza lifestyle and chill out a bit. Because you don't want to give some sicko who writes for Harassment a big circumcised stiffy about how upset you are. That's not gonna do any good for you. So that's that. I could mention any. I have Let me just look on Google actually at my Gmail real quick. If I go to Gmail and I go to my email, I have a bunch of Google alerts. The Kiwi Farms has been scrubbed from the Internet Archive, The Verge, Online Cesspool, Kiwi Farms finds new host in Bandwidth Tech, Gizmodo. Inside Kiwi Farms, the hate-filled platform that just had its worst day ever, news.com.au. Anti-trans hate forum Kiwi Farms dropped by providers as owner rants about site's demise, the Latin Times. Whoever will stand for the bigoted hate mongers behind Kiwi Farms, Glenn Greenwald, of course, from the Daily KOS. Cloudflare blocks hate-filled platform Kiwi Farms that mocked New Zealand cops over mosque attacks. New Zealand Herald. Lots of fun headlines there. Those are only hits for my name, by the way. There's a lot more that are more generic. This is my favorite, though. I will show you this. Where is it? I pulled it up and everything, and of course I'm not going to be able to find it now because that's just how fucking.
Hey guys.
Oh no, sorry, that's Amberlynn Reed. I have a fat woman clip for today, just to make sure the ball is rolling as it should be. Okay, I apparently did not have the foresight to bring this up. There we go. Oh, actually, I did have this. I was just looking for the wrong thing because I'm an idiot. This is my favorite. This is from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This is a crowned corporation. This is owned by King Charles out of Canada. And it says, founded by Joshua Moon in 2013, Kiwi Farms is the forum where the 2019 Christchurch mosque gunman revealed his intentions hours before carrying out the attacks. I remember it just like yesterday, chat. I remember when my good buddy Brenton Tarrant logged into his verified KiwiFarms.net forum account and told everybody that he was going to shoot up a mosque in the Articles and News board hours before it happened. Oh wait, that's not what happened. He posted it to 8chan and carried out the live stream on Facebook and never had a fucking account, and everybody knows this, but for some reason the government of Canada is able to print this about me and there's literally no recourse whatsoever. Really just fucking nuts, isn't it, chat? I mean, you want to talk about defamation? I think that's defamation. I feel defamed. I feel like if I said the things that these people say about me to anybody else, I would be facing defamation charge. I'm pretty sure in Canada that's like criminal defamation. They're accusing me of a crime that I conducted a terrorist attack. It's nonsense. And what's funny is that this was pointed out, by the way. This is days old now. I have an archive of it, but I loaded the real version up because I want to show you that this was pointed out to them, and they have left it up. They don't give a fuck. The guy that wrote this just does not give a fuck, and neither does the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or King Charles, for that matter. Oh, this was published by CBC Radio. So the fucking tranny that works for CBC that published this didn't want to put their name on it because it's bullshit and they know it's bullshit and they don't want people to say anything to them that would hurt their feelings, so they hid behind the editorial title. Very fascinating. So That's that. That's the new shit. Basically, I've just been working on the site the whole week. I haven't had much time to enjoy much. Do I have any other tabs related to this? Not really. I have a lovely picture of Count Dankula in a femboy basement. You want to know why Count Dankula doesn't like the site? It's because he's friends with that weird Thai tranny, and he gets fucked in the ass by people like this on the most disgusting dungeon ever. The patches. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna try to get. I'm really hesitant. You know, I could start it now. Maybe I'll do it next week. I'll get the site up and safe, and then I'll do it once I have some security. Poor Dankula. Poor Dankula's wife. Poor Dankula's kid. Daddy's in the tranny basement getting fucked. Looks like the goblin from Harry Potter. Could be more goblin-esque, if you ask me. Oh, speaking. Before I get into the, I'll play a little bit of the fat. I'll play the fat for the end. Actually, I'll put this towards the end. There is a user on the Kiwi forums named Winter, and Winter is one of the most like prolific posters in the Keffels thread. And he sent a DM to Keffels on Discord, which I don't condone at all. That's a stupid move. Because you're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna like just yell at them? Because that's what, if you look at the chat, this is like the chat logs that he posted. He like did like a live recording of his chat with Keffels to prove that it's real. Yeah, it started in like August 10th, so I don't think this is fake. Actually, no, Keffels sent a message to him first. Thank you for being my biggest fan. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm always here for you, friend. And then he makes fun of him for a little bit, but then he stops on August 16th. And on September 5th, Keffels starts sending him pictures of what he thinks is Winter's mom. He thinks that he's like a little Mexican boy. And that's about it. Keffels continues to say, like, I have your face and name. I know what schools you went to. I know every member of your family. Excited to see how they all react when your information gets sent to them. Winter continues to say that you have no fucking idea who you're talking about. Keffels says, glad you confirmed your identity. Thank you. You're laughing now, just like Josh did. We saw how that went. You have a choice. Your life is on a diverging path. You can walk away or you can see what comes next. And then he says, is that a threat? And he goes, no, that's a promise. Didn't you learn your lesson after getting sent to military school? You need to make better choices, kid. You're shitting your life away. You're powerless in the real world. So he's basically just like threatening him and his mom. Oh, and then he says he has a PI. I know the PI will get me more, though. Not really interested in trash talking, Sanchez. I want to help you. And so the PI is talking to his family and school officials. Por favor, gringo, please don't hurt me. I don't want you to shake. This isn't a threat or anything, except when he says that it was I guess a promise. This isn't a threat, is it? He keeps saying, look at Josh. Look what good that did him. I think I'm fine. I'm too fine, even. The downfall of Kiwi Farms does not take... This guy is such a fucking egomaniac. This is how you know it's not a woman. Like, you could not know anything else about this person. No woman talks like this. This is like a fucking dude. You already know I have insomnia. What a surprise. Blah, blah, blah. God, this is like a huge conversation. Vic is Victoria now. So that's like his dad. He literally doxed some random Mexican and is insisting that it's Winter. Winter is like not taking him seriously at all. And that's like really frustrating to him. That clip of Keffels like openly like I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're like digging fingers up in their belly button and their pants after a stream. just like back and forth. It's crazy. So this is also like, I can't believe that someone would try to fake a conversation this long. You would just try to make it incriminating enough that people would want to read it. I doubt you have a girlfriend. So Keffels, you got to leave doxing to the professionals. You're a novice. Even when you hire a private investigator, you have no fucking idea what you're doing. A true expert would. Oh, look, it's like the thing clicks open, and you can see that it's verified. What a weirdo! Must be frustrated that people are making fun of him now on Twitter. Now the site's down. Okay, that's enough of the Troon stuff. Jennifer Lawrence said that Tucker Carlson gave her nightmares because he's conservative. She also says that there's like no room. I think, how does it say here? I'm going to get this correct. Okay, this is from Jennifer Lawrence. I can't fuck with people who aren't political anymore. You live in the United States of America. You have to be political. It's too dire. Politics are killing people. I like how they word this. It's too dire. Politics are killing people. The actress known for dramatic turns says. It breaks my heart because America had the choice between a woman and a dangerous, dangerous jar of mayonnaise. And they're like, well, we can't have a woman. Let's go with a jar of mayonnaise. Would you guys vote for a woman or a jar of mayonnaise? Be honest, chat. Okay. What the fuck is that picture? You know, okay. So apparently Tucker Carlson might have done a thing on the forum. I haven't seen that or heard that, but it was like a rumor. I really hope it doesn't happen, because if he wants me to be on Tucker Carlson, I'd be really tempted, and it's a bad idea. I know in my heart of hearts it's a terrible idea to go on national television, but at the same time I would be very tempted to accept, because I would want to. Such is life. Oh, that's the Daily Mail. They're currently crying because the Queen's dead. Also from the Daily Mail is, oh no, did they delete this? Do I have to pull up an archive of this image? Hold up, chat. I'm not letting this go. This trans activist post. Oh, they did delete it. There's nobody archived. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on, let me see if I can get the archive. Because I know the archive exists. It's a picture of like a, oh, here. Okay, hold up. There's a Alex Sharp 64. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. It is a new, oh God, Twitter is the worst piece of shit on the fucking planet now. Like, you can't even scroll down the fucking page without some nag thing saying sign in. I don't want to fucking sign in. You banned me. I don't have an account. I'm not signing in. Jesus. Okay, trans activists left over 60 bottles of piss outside the Human Rights Commission or whatever the fuck. The European Human Rights Commission. And the funny thing is that their group is called POT, or Pissed Off Trannies, which last time I heard, tranny is like a derogatory term, but I guess they deleted this video of them pouring piss on the EHRC. Oh, wait. Ew. Ugh. They're pouring pee-pee on themselves. They're in like a dress with like, pouring tranny pee-pee on themselves. Gross. We live in a society. I can't help it. Okay. And speaking, I'm just going through my little stories. It's a fetish, yeah. You think so? J.K. Rowling got in trouble because Spitfire Audio, which I don't know what the fuck that is, if it's like a podcast company or what, but the co-founder of Spitfire Audio, Christian Henson, recently tweeted support for Graham Lineham, and J.K. Rowling. Now the company's CEO has apologized for the hurt that this tweet has caused and announced that Christian's going to take a break as we reflect on how to move forward. Can you imagine? What is this? Apparently, I can no longer keep track of this. I like Glitter and J.K. Rowling, bro. Okay, I'll show you this post that I made. That's I'm very proud of. I was reading messages left on Hacker News after Cloudflare dropped us, and my favorite message was this one, which I'm now reminded of. And as far as I know, this is like the most liked post ever on the Fediverse. I've never seen one with over 1,000 likes, so I'm taking my crown for that, my W. I said, Kiwi bros, it was all worth it. Quoting this guy, Thomas, saying, I didn't know about the Kiwi farms until yesterday. After reading the thread that got them taken down, I know one thing: I will not be letting my children near Discord. So I may have lost my sight, but at least one child will not be allowed on Discord, and it was all worth it, chat. Everything was worth it. The last 10 years was building up. This one kid is going to be a giga Chad. He's going to be president. He's going to fix everything because I managed to keep him off Discord. That's the butterfly effect, chat. You gotta be optimistic about things. But J.K. Rowling points out that this is fucking stupid because it is extremely stupid. It's so pathetic. It's so like mind-numbingly pathetic. It's such an innocent tweet. It's like, I don't want my kid to be groomed into being a tranny. That's it. And they're like, oh my god, this is so problematic. This is so problematic, bro. And it's not even like a crime. Like, I can understand, like, when China gets pissed off and tells the WWE that John Cena, I wanted to call him John Cena, but I knew that wasn't it. When John Cena said Taiwan, that really hurt the government's feelings. So now he's like, oh, hen hao, Zhong guo, bing chilling, hen hao. Like, I get that. But this is like, nobody is forcing these retards to do it. They've like internalized this narrative that they feel the urge to repent for all the time. So, it's so stupid. But this guy, Remy Guerrero, says, you shouldn't be surprised when you're outwardly hateful to an entire community. To which J.K. Rowling replies, receipts, please. And Guerrero replies, LOL, look at your past tweets. I'm not going to waste my time. And at this moment, Guerrero goes over to his timeline and says, hashtag writing community, can you direct me to the tweet I'm thinking of where the Harry Potter lady was being ugly about the trans community? I don't know how to search for it. She's been promoting her children's book right before. Thanks. I just want to win an argument. So he immediately flip-flops over to his own timeline and says, help, I don't know what I'm doing. And JK says, which of my past tweets show hatred towards a whole community? And Guerrero says, you don't tweet about the trans community. And Rowling says, show me the tweets that demonstrate hatred towards the trans community. Should be easy. Sounds like there are loads. Guerrero says, I don't know when you said it, but I bet you do. You've been promoting your children's book, then bam, random hate speech. You don't need to have loads. You show your character with a single tweet. And JK Rowling says, okay, so show me which of my random hate speech. I'll take a single example. Where he says, I don't know how to find an old tweet, but there are a few. The tweets that were in this article, by the way, are just her saying that obviously there is such a thing as biological sex. You can't undo that. It's just true. And to say that it's not true, since people like to say, you know, you're silencing the stories of people, you're silencing the stories of people who have already lived those experiences, and should be antithetical to your mission statement. And JK says that they love trannies. They have tranny friends or some shit. That's necessary. Do I have tranny friends? I had one. I had Katsu. My boy Katsu. He's no longer with us though. He's gone away. He's gone to the ranch where all the cats go when they die. I don't know. Commie Dick Girl likes us. Is Commie Dick Girl our friend, chat? Should I hoist that one? I think I have a press statement coming out in regards to the thing that I was talking about before, the optimistic thing. And I quoted Commie Dick Girl in it because they've been pretty vocal about supporting the site. Speaking of supporting the site, there is an article because this whole tweet thread is about Graham Lynham, whose name I cannot pronounce because it's exceptionally English. On Graham Lynham on the Glinner update, which is a Substack, there's a expose from his perspective about the Keffel shit, which is very sympathetic to the forum and the timeline, as opposed to simply saying that the Kiwi Farms is like a hate site or whatever the fuck. So props to him, I guess. Very interesting. It's hard. I have to stop myself from like reading comments and shit everywhere because there's so much noise that if I tried to, it would be exhausting. Poll has had like 8 different threads up at any given time about the Kiwi Farms. Redux? Oh yeah, that's right. Redux. Kiwi versus Predator Redux.info. That's also like the people most on our side are like very turfy because it's like and it is hard to take the side of the Kiwi Farms. The site is can be very mean. I don't ask people to hold a particular narrative. I don't expect people to be nice or whatever. So people are often not nice. And they say mean things. They say mean things about whole groups of people. I say very mean things about everybody all the time because I just do. Because I find it funny. And that makes me, in particular, extremely indefensible. However, this whole thing is driven by one person's desire to suppress information about them. And it's really scary. Because it's like, they're like I mentioned, they're trying to go after AppNick and get AppNick to revoke our internet allocation. And that's never happened before in like the history. The only time that an RIR revokes an allocation is that it's like they're not using it. They're trying to squat resources, or they're using it for technical abuse purposes like hacking and spam and malware and shit like that. It's always like a threat to the network as opposed to a local law. So it's like this person is so upset that I make fun of them for being a snake tranny or for having like a fake vagina and for being a fart fetishist, that they're trying to undermine the internet as a whole. And it's from that perspective, it's very scary. It's like, why are these people so galvanized when they're just like freaks? Yeah. Transphobia is worse than hacking. God. Yeah, it must be, because a lot of people are threatening to hack the site right now. And this is the Teletubbies. I have this too. This is funny. This is the new Teletubbies remake from Netflix. The son has been turned from a white baby to a chinky baby because they're racist. And they somehow found a black guy to put into this. That guy's soy face is pretty scary, though. Did they even have a human in the old Teletubbies? The baby face was like the only human, right? There wasn't like... Yeah. Yeah, in old pictures, there's not like a human being. So they've just like inserted this black guy into the Teletubbies for no reason other than the fact that they want a black guy in the show. Can the Teletubbies were already gay. Do they need to be molested by Netflix too? I don't understand. Black guy's the house cleaner. I'm imagining like the Teletubbies own like a plantation, and then the chinky baby son rises over the cotton fields. And all the black people are picking cotton, and the Teletubbies are on the porch drinking iced tea. The world could be so much funnier than it is, chat, if it was only allowed to be. is what I mean. This is why nobody can defend my stupid shitty site. Because I started thinking about slavery and I laugh. Oh, I have that Amberlynn clip. I'll play that. Let's see. 4:30 to 7. Okay. We'll listen to some fats to calm down.
Things that you see in stupid romantic movies.
Like, this is an explanation of how Amberlynn met Becky, or proposed to Becky. Because they proposed, but I don't think they ever got married. And it was like a cheap Walmart ring. So we're going to listen to Amberlynn for just a second. Like, for old time's sake.
That's what I want. But how I was proposed to, I was sitting in the living room. It was about 2 a.m. and I was in a muumuu. I was like actual grandma chic. I had my floral muumuu on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Becky proposed to her, according to the story. You're right.
And living my best life. Don't think I showered that day. Can't tell you what I was doing. Probably binge watching some YouTube moment. Who knows? And I remember it being January 13th because my partner thought that she wanted to change that day for me because years prior, that's a day that I got broken up on, like where my heart broke. So she wanted to change that day for me into something special, which I get where your mind frame's at. It's a good mind frame, but it's also kind of weird all in the same. Your heart was in the good place, but it was in a place that I don't know. It was just weird. Okay, so I'm in my muumuu, not showered, hair greasy as per usual. And all of a sudden, like, she comes out, like, she's also in her pajamas, like, just living her best life. We both got the greasy hair, just living our actual separate lives in the same home. I don't know. There was definitely a disconnect, especially when she walked out of the bedroom with something in her hand, and it was like this clear box, and it was small, and I could tell something was in it. And she just sat down across from me and handed it to me, and I looked at it. You guys, this is embarrassing, but it's like an actual true situation type deal.
Food.
It was a tiny pink vibrator.
Ew.
With a engagement ring wrapped around it. Like, it was
Ew.
like, say this is the vibrator, it was like on it, like that. And she looked at me and said, "Will you have sex with me for the rest of my life?" And I said yes. We hadn't had sex. We had sex one time in the last like 3 years. So it was a definite, I don't know. It was very like disconnected. I don't know, but that's how I was proposed to. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. I thought I shared it before.
What time did she talk about the forum? I didn't know that was in this clip. I just have this one clip. Is there like a comment that tags it? The German magazine published a picture of me with pedophile written on. Oh, is that the picture from Vordrak's blog? Let's see. Tagesschau. Oh yeah, they posted a picture of from Vordrak's blog that has the pedophile on the. That's interesting. They explain that. What lazy shit, Jesus. LGBTQs are the main target of Kiwi farms. Dude, the whole like media talking about how the NBC News published an article saying that the Kiwi farms was synonymous with swatting, which is not true. It is demonstrably untrue. It has always been untrue. And anybody who's ever come out in support of like a specific swatting, I've always struck down. And they just lie, and they have no accountability whatsoever. And it's very tiring. But yeah, whatever. Nobody cares what Germans think. Where's the Kiwi Farms part at? I didn't get a timestamp from anybody in chat, so I'm assuming that I don't get to see it, because this is 24 minutes long. I don't expect the journalists to tell the truth, but a lot of people do. A lot of people are astounded by exactly how much the journalists lie. And they expect there to be some modicum of truth. Like, there's no way that a journalist could lie about this on national news, but yeah, they just fucking lie.
The fact that this continuously happens, where you guys come at me for a subreddit being taken down about me, when I had nothing to do with it, goes to show that you are bullying. What you are doing in that subreddit is not okay. It is harassment, it is doxing, it is bullying, it is gross, it is clearly not allowed on reddit.com. Same goes with Kiwi Farms. That has been taken down. Why? Well, I looked it up, and it's because it is actual bullying. It can hurt people. There is doxing. It is harassment. It's like, are you guys delusional? Are you delusional? So no, it wasn't me. It wasn't wifey. It was a higher power. Okay, I'm not talking about God or the universe or freaking Buddha.
Christ is king. Queen Falls and Christ is king. Shut down the Kiwi Farms. You heard from Amberlynn Reed.
Higher. It's someone bigger. It's not allowed.
No, but Keffels is pretty fucking fat, but they're not bigger than you, Amberlynn. Calm down.
It's not allowed. So maybe you should look at your actions. So.
Okay, that's the end of that, I guess. Very funny. I think that's it. As far as like content that I have queued up, I'm sure that I've missed a lot this week, but I've been my head has been firmly buried in the sand. Is there anything that I should talk about? I'll just riff off chat for a bit before I look at any super chats. It is allowed. Busy boy. Yes, I've been very busy. Very busy. I just wanted to play a game of Venice on EU4 last week, and I didn't get to finish it. Ralph versus Post. Oh, yeah. Graf had like a melty at Ralph and said something like he was going to sue. He sounded drunk. Like his messages were not so coherent. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but what's his face? Ralph is like taking shots at Graf on Twitter. For some reason, Ralph really hates Graf. I don't understand. So Graf might be suing what's his face, Ralph, at some point. And just to reiterate, in case you were not here when I started the stream, I'm doing a stream with Jim on the 17th, assuming that nothing happens. The family emergency that I talked about the other shoe hasn't dropped for that yet. So the week that I will be taking off is still upcoming this month. I don't know when, but I'm hoping that I will be able to do that stream with Jim regardless. His availability is pretty limited because of his health issues. So hopefully the stars align for that. Graf bullied Ralph off the site. Dude, you know who else is never going to join the Fediverse? That guy Styx. Eventually, like, he's going to get banned from Twitter, and he's going to be like, I'm being censored, and you can find me on the free speech site Gab and Parler and Minds. Though I think Minds is going to federate at some point, which they should, because the Fediverse is great. Oh, Destiny. Yeah, Destiny. Destiny's just stirring shit, though. He's not going to do anything. He has no reason to. Sticks Trump and Hammer. DSP spurred out. DSP. Actually, this is on the site. I have it on the tour. I may be able to find it. Though maybe not. Hold up, let me sign in. The only frustrating thing about Tor is that the CAPTCHA is reCAPTCHA now, and the CAPTCHA from Google for Tor users is like psychotic. It's like the most difficult CAPTCHAs in the entire world. You have to. It gives you those really slow ones where like the single frame reloads and over again for like 5 minutes, and then it gives you like 6 of those in a row, and then it just decides that you're going to do it all over again anyways because fuck you. It's really maddening. But let's see. Internet famous. I actually made a post about that, about DSP, so I should be able to find it pretty easy. I want to say it was a quote, but I don't know for sure. He talked about the forum, and I think he obviously doesn't like his forum because they really hate him there. Oh no, I'm thinking of Jordy. Here, I have the audio here. 612. I haven't seen DSP's thing about the forum. I'll play this though. I've not heard this.
Do I have an opinion on Kiwi farms getting taken down? I do. I do have an opinion on Kiwi farms getting taken down. I felt like Kiwi farms was too loosely moderated, to be fair. And let me put it this way, like Joshua Moon has never been unfair to me. Right? He never wants people to do illegal stuff and things of that nature, but I feel like Noon basically let too many people run the asylum, if that means sense. Because like you had people like, one of my favorite things growing up as a kid was like the PlayStation 1 emulator, PSX, you know.
Is he gonna talk about
and the guy who created and coded that ended up like, you know, self-deleting because of like flack he was getting from Kiwi Farms. And to me, like stuff like that, like you shouldn't be able to like sit there and be a cesspool of hive and villainy to the point that people are literally taking.
What are those words you just said? What the fuck?
Let's see. That's the end of that. What's the This is from 2 days ago. I don't know. Let's see. Is there a timestamp for this? This is on. Wait, this is on his channel.
What is going on, everyone?
Kiwi Farms ends.
Of the game, entertainment and humor that it lasted. Next week when I play again. Overall, had a hitting and charging, not respond. No jumping, you know, you just die. It's still kind of annoying. Wow. Late stream. Well, super slow. A little disappointing here.
This is every DSP streaming ever, just in case you're wondering. He just like he takes so long to explain anything, and he never gets around to it.
It won't be like that. From like 380 some memberships all the way up to almost. That's excellent. DSP gaming. If that's the case or not, YouTube says a lot of things to clear up. I'm going to tell you until they'll clear it up, because obviously when they're cleared and once they're done, all right. Tomorrow's main gameplay, Carnales plotline, the rollers that way. So
where's the Kiwi Farms talk, Phil?
That just gets better and better literally every time I play it, even though it gets tougher today. Friday now is going to be I'm fighting collection on the late stream. But if we
it looks like he's lost weight. Is he like not able to buy food anymore? Does he just hate cats cooking? How is he losing weight? He was always a like big fat guy, I thought.
An old school Street Fighter. I can't imagine why they didn't do that. Besides playthroughs, great new stuff. Thank you for your support. Week sound good?
There is no mention of the Kiwi Farms anywhere in this video, Phil. You put it in the title. It's the first thing that shows up when I type in DSP Kiwi Farms, and it's not in the fucking video. Why would you do this?
Player at some point.
What the fuck? Okay, let's try this one. Looks like it's edited to shit, but we'll see. Oh, Snort Burnell. This one's great, because watch this. I want to show you this real quick. We're at 0 seconds. This is his intro. 5, 11, 17, 22,
Epic fucking
28,
dude. And I have to warn everyone.
30, 37. Okay, it's like 37 seconds of just intro of just Phil dancing. Okay,
Gifted memberships work now. You do a super shop code as well.
this is the same fucking thing.
Yes, I've publicly.
I want to put into you.
Where's the Kiwi Farms chat at?
And Cat deserves more.
What the fuck is this?
Wait a minute. He was getting knocked
Why is Velma in Smash Brothers?
back. He recovered from the knockback and was already on the stage instantly. What was that? None of
Wait,
this
why
makes
is
any sense.
Superman in Smash? What the fuck is this?
Salt.
One thing that would help tips to pay these bills this week. All the idiots went over there, right? All the dumb fucks. So I guess that would make sense.
Come watch me.
This video is hell. Is this where is the fucking why are you lying to me? I watched your intro. Respond.
If you could support it with tips, that'd be great.
2 steps right with Val.
I don't.
Still in the back of my neck. The back next to be a new mobile game addict.
Where is what? There's 44 seconds. The video starts. Where is the timestamp for like the shit he's talking about? Why? Jesus Christ. The DSP people, you are the worst. You have no redeeming qualities. I'm glad the site's dead, because fuck you. 2 days ago, oh my god, okay, what's this guy? Snort Hogan. 30 minutes? How is this 30 minutes? Why are there no timestamps for this video? I don't understand. What the fuck?
Thread to exist because that's what the content that I'm putting out publicly on the internet to be criticized. If you want to
Wait, is this it?
tale about this shit that these guys say and do,
Oh wait, this is it.
right? Am I the person they say page after page after page?
Oh my god.
Evidence that I had insane in my content, that's all fair game. But the moment you
Where does he start about it? Is this it? This must be it, please.
So, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
to
my
me,
god.
I'm putting myself out there publicly on their site that has time. It was something that kind of came together. Originally, it was supposed to be a trip.
Okay, wait, no, I think.
I'll give you some examples.
Wait, no, okay, this doesn't. Where does it start? Is this
When it comes to personal shit going on behind the scenes,
Wait, is this entire thing? Is it like a 30-minute long thing where he's talking about the forum? Does it start at the beginning?
tons of other people.
Oh my god, this is all about the Kiwi Farms.
Anyway, yeah, I got funny emails here. I think someone else might have paid. So, all that being said, there's something I want to address publicly. All right, I've been talking about it on and off as people mentioned it during my gameplay streams, but I haven't dedicated a set time to talk about it. I'd like to talk about it today, just to give my formal thoughts on it out of the way.
Click on the Twitter. Okay, I'll click on the Twitter. What's this say? Oh, okay, this, here we go. A 2-minute clip. Okay, fine. I'll watch this one from SpecPer, which is Perspiricity, apparently.
Anything, at least with Kiwi Farms out of commission in the way that it was, there's no more centralized place for the harassment to take place. Okay? I'm not happy that it's gone. I honestly wish that instead the owner would have learned like what he's doing is wrong and it's never going to work. And it's too idealistic, it's too ignorant, it's too
Ignorant.
gullible. He's gullible to think that that kind of an idealistic thing could work on the internet, and that people would not take advantage of it to hurt others. And that being said, if it comes back in another capacity, I just hope that they learned their lesson. Not that it comes back, right back to business as usual, harassing people and making people's lives miserable and trying to make them kill themselves. You know? But I guess we'll see. Anyway, that's my take on it. I'm not against free speech, but I'm certainly against unlimited power to do whatever you want at the expense of everyone around you, which then causes people to have their lives ruined. You know, I've definitely been a part of that experience. And am I breathing a sigh of relief because Kiwi Farms is gone? No, I'm not. I'm not. The online harassment will continue. I'm not stupid. I'm not gullible. I'm not ignorant. I know it's always going to keep going and going and going. But the fact that the centralized place for those people to be is gone is a win. In reaction to that, you know, essentially, I don't think the level of shit that's happened will continue to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest, the biggest thing that's been ongoing for like fucking 2 to 3 years has been the mobile game conspiracy bullshit. And the fact that there's no centralized place for them to continue to put out their junk, their bullshit, that's all fake, is a good thing.
That was real, though.
I don't think that these people who make the YouTube videos are going to go out of their way to try to find that information. They always went to Kiwi Farms and stole it from there and made videos based off of that. So now that that's gone, now you can focus on making fun of me again. Tell me that I'm a bad content creator. Tell me that I'm a bad person. I'm an e-beggar. Do all that shit.
The WWE shit was in his bankruptcy documents, wasn't it? His he like publicly filed that he was in debt because of WWE. Wasn't? I'm not like full of shit when I say that, right? Like that was true. Like he filed under penalty of perjury that he was in debt because of his microtransactions, right? I'm not making that up, or I'm not misinformed. Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's strange. DSP has acknowledged too that I've given him a fair shake. Both Wings of Redemption and DSP have acknowledged, because DSP's people in particular, they don't know how to laugh. Those people really think that this guy is like the worst guy in the world, and he doesn't deserve to make money, and that's just ridiculous. Like if he deserves to make money because people want to pay him. You know, I'm not for saying, oh, dear people who want to pay this guy for his videos and his live streams, you don't get to do that because he's deceiving you. That's retarded. Like, fuck it. I wouldn't care. Like, I can't get mad at how people spend their money. If you were to get mad at how people spend their money, you would be upset all the time. Like, Amarath or whatever makes like $3 million a month from her like OnlyFans career. You know, how do you even... That, to me, is more offensive than DSP. DSP makes a couple $1,000s like a month from his live streaming. What do you fucking do? What about all those weirdos who are like on OnlyFans and then they like file DMCA complaints and shit, and their entire life is just getting guys to jerk off to them? Or people like Bella Delphine who do like rape porn and shit. Like, that's weird. That's worse than DSP. But yeah, they make a ton of fucking money. They make an obscene amount of money, and they're a negative impact on everything, far more than DSP is. DSP is at least funny sometimes. He's funny when he's going on a 5-minute story about ants and little bugs and the crouton packets in the back of his cabinets, and when he tries to cook, that's all funny. Here's the TYT clip. Okay, this is what this stream will be for the second hour. I'm just going to react to all the shit that has been said that I didn't get a chance to watch during the week. 7 minutes. Oh, jeez.
Trans streamer Keffals has been doxxed repeatedly for weeks by users of a hate forum known as Kiwi Farms, which she chose to fight.
It's so sad when you have Anna Kasparian next to Keffals. Look at that. Real woman, right? Fake imitation, soulless dead bug eyes on the left. Anytime you put like real woman versus trans on the screen right next to each other, it's just like any kind of deception of passing or womanhood melts instantly.
But she chose to fight back, and guess what? She won in a big way. After engaging in a long pressure campaign, she successfully shut Kiwi Farms down. And it's incredible that she was able to do this, especially because it feels impossible to do away with these types of forums. But Kiwi Farms has had a long history of hate. In fact, at least 3 people have died by suicide after being targeted by Kiwi Farms harassment campaigns, and that's according to Vice. In 2016, the family of a trans person who died by suicide.
It's so intellectually dishonest. It's so dishonest when they say like it's a swatting forum or whatever the fuck, and then they just say, well, NBC News said it, so it must be true. Why would Ben Collins lie to me? Ooh. But then when someone says like, this person is like a fart pornographer who transitioned directly from a pornography career aspire to being a streamer for kids who tries to get little kids on HRT and publicly flirts with 16-year-old boys on Twitter. And like, well, we can't prove it. It's right here. It's on this website. There's archives, everything. That's Kiwi Farms. You can't prove it. It's like a hate site. They lie. No, there's archives for everything that's in this. You don't even have to read the text. Just click the archives. The archive sites are hate sites. Then meanwhile, on the flip side, Vice News said it, so it must be true. Oh. I sleep very well knowing that my enemies are ontologically evil, and there's no thing that can perpetrate upon them, which is wrong.
Suicide. Lizzie Waite was harassed by Kiwi Farms trolls for weeks after, even after her death, after she had taken her own life. And Keffels was targeted by Kiwi Farms, as we've reported on this show before. And she's a fierce advocate for the transgender community, being trans herself, of course. And that's the reason why she became a target. Now, Keffels is a fighter, and this story is...
Pretty sure Keffels was a target because they went on Twitter and said, "Ha Destiny, I took away your primary source of income. Ha 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 ha." Pretty sure that's why.
Piece of evidence to prove that. She began the hashtag Drop Kiwi Farms. Okay, now
it's just like a recap.
The majority of the people they farms is called 1776 Solutions LLC. Before 2017, it was called Final Solutions LLC, a direct reference to the Holocaust. Now I should also.
You know what's the best thing about that is, it's true. When I formed my company, I named it Final Solutions LLC, and I changed it.
Note that Joshua Moon is the founder of Kiwi Farms, and Keffels applied so much pressure to Cloudflare's social media accounts that the company often deleted or hid any comments that pointed out that Cloudflare had this relationship with Kiwi Farms. And in the end, her efforts paid off. So let's take a look at the next tweet because it shows you the kind of impact it had on the stock for Cloudflare.
Oh, that's such bullshit. The fucking thing about the stock ticker, every stock was dropping at that point. Like if you compare it to the market averages for tech stocks, like Cloudflare was in the same basket.
Cloudflare has lost nearly $3 billion in market cap in the last week since Clara's campaign to drop Kiwi Farms.
Clara. I hate that its name is Clara. It's very triggering, chat. This is just like Chank yogurt.
Now we're canceling people who have said these kind of things. Yeah, well, look, guys, you think trans people are bad, whatever the hell that means. You're allowed to have that thing, okay? If you
such a big boy.
Let's go dox that person.
It's such a beefalo. It's like a big buffalo. I want to make him to a burger.
And put them in physical danger and threaten them physically. That's illegal. That's completely different.
Threatening people is illegal.
I mean, I don't know if you would ironically join the far left in saying, no, there should be no laws, there should be no prisons, no one should have, like, it's okay to physically threaten people. And what are prisons? It's canceling someone. Just because you physically assaulted someone, you're supposed to go to prisons. You're canceling their freedom. #freedom, right? No, yes, there are things you are not allowed to do that break the law.
The fuck is he saying?
They did that, so there you go. If you think there should be no responsibility for that, there's something wrong with you.
Absolutely. Now, Keffels even planned a protest for September 8th at the Cloudflare Connect conference in
Oh man, I really hope that the next protest happens
in Australia, but that protest won't be necessary and since that Farms is simply allowed to operate, it will either become a fractured shell of itself, like 8chan.
That was such a great post. That post was such a great post. They all celebrate it as being a total capitulation. Well, lay low, chat. It's for the best. Just keep the site kind of hampered, kind of there, but not. So the people who really want to can still post, but it's definitely, this is the way to keep it aligned for right now. And then when something more stable is available, you can move on to that and not have to worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. This is just like a recap and a conspiracy. Look at that smug fucking face.
You never
These people.
offered that to her. You did the exact opposite. She's offering you a lifeline. Maybe she can give you $5 or $10 for it. It's more than you should ever get for it.
That's the other thing. Keffels is just like lied about on Twitter, saying that I tried to accept $50 for the site on Proton. My Proton Mail account is not Kiwi Null at Proton Mail. Just so you know, because people kept asking me about that. Like, why are you trusting like a dangerous pervert? Like when they say things on the internet, it's clearly bullshit. Exercise some judgment there. Okay. Anything else I should watch in regards to this? They want you dead and think it's funny. Yes, it's true. I want smug Anna Kasparian as my frame. There we go. Perfect. Look at that smugness. Linus Tech Tips made a video about us being dropped by Cloudflare. Oh, okay. That's a good thing to bring up. We briefly used DDoS Guard. We used DDoS Guard so briefly that I completely forgot about it. Actually, that's a lie. We were on DDoS Guard for years. DDoS Guard said that they were made aware that we used them or whatever. Or no, they said that we joined them on like the day after Cloudflare dropped us, but that's not true. Cloudflare, I had .ru set up with host DDoS Guard for years before Cloudflare dropped us. Around the time that 8chan got dropped by Cloudflare. But because we were on .ru, there was some guy on Twitter. He has like 500,000 followers, and he was like a former assistant to the FBI director 12 years ago for 1 year, and then he retired and got involved in the media as like an expert on the FBI. And he made some really stupid posts about how on the 8 hours that we were on the .ru domain with DDoS Guard, how we were a Russian asset and the website existed to like influence the election that was coming up in September. Really bizarre shit. So this is Linus Tech Tips apparently talking about that angle of conspiracy.
In there. And network infrastructure company Cloudflare.
Oh no, Tech Linked.
They have blocked trolling forum Kiwi Farms after specific targeted threats were seen escalating on the site in a 48-hour period. Cloudflare had been under intense pressure to drop support for the forum by the #DropKiwiFarms social campaign, which highlighted the forum's contribution to online and real-life harassment and bullying, which in some cases led to suicide. Cloudflare maintained that, like their blocking of 8chan back in 2019, they had made this decision because of the recent escalation in specific threats, and not directly because of the social campaign.
This is bullshit.
Not trying to police.
Such a coward. It's so frustrating because it's like I wonder if someone like pointed a gun at him or if he's just like a coward.
The internet.
Testosterone levels.
Reportedly switched to using servers hosted in Russia, and we can only hope that leads some of them to have a "Are we the baddies?" moment. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Vessi Foot.
Are we the baddies because we're on a Russian domain? Russia is inhospitable to the forum. It's only the U.S. that can support the site. I even say that in my post. Are we the baddies? It's true. We use the Ukrainian hosts. You know what? Here, when I have the opportunity, I want to reflect on. And this is, I'm tempted. I don't know. It's like I don't want to like shine a light on any of the providers we use, but at the same time, I want to make a list of like reputable companies that are like not retarded. And all of the hosts that we use are out there, but I don't know. Maybe my endorsement would be unwelcomed. What incredible cutting out? I'm not cutting out. Might be your end, bro. But yeah, I'd like to make a list of like websites and services that you should actually use. Because they're not shit. The list would be so small. Yes, it would. But you would know that everything on there is very good and worth using. The Ukrainians, by the way, the service that we were using briefly, that I'm still using for the kiwifarms.net error page, which is a 418 I am a teapot error for no reason. That is vsys at vsys.host. And they're based out of Kiev, in case you're interested in supporting a Ukrainian company. They also hosted an error message at some point before we were kicked off Cloudflare. They have been pretty good, and people have been really going after them. That fucking Liz Fong Jones tranny tried to get some contractor in Ukraine to complain to the Ministry of Defense to get the Kiwi farms taken down. We were using them for an error page. It's ridiculous. Okay. I mean, it's not like it's known. They know all the providers and they're going after them. So it's like I should just make that a valuable thing to them. I mean, they, like I said, they know. You can just look it up what I'm using. Kiev. They're out of Kiev. The funny thing about the Kiev versus Kiev shit is that if you're in Kiev, chances are you're Ukrainian and you speak Ukrainian and you spell it Kiev. So the whole, oh no, it's Kiev, Slava Russia, bliat. It's like the people in Kiev don't call it that because they're Ukrainian. It's very Ukrainian up there. Very fucking annoying controversy. People who correct the spelling of a name of a city that they don't even live in and speak neither language. Amerimuts and like neo-Nazi LARPers who don't know any Russian and don't know any Ukrainian, who are miscorrecting the name of a city that speaks Ukrainian because they don't like Ukraine for whatever reason. It's like, what a fucking... That's why I find it hard to be energetic for any form of politics. People on the right are also fucking stupid. Boogie Die, check Twitter. Poland has it easy. Kiev. Yeah. Poland doesn't have it easy. Warsaw is spelled like different in every single language in the world. It's just that it's like the Russians spell it Kiev or Kiev, and the Ukrainians spell it Kiev. And it's like it. That's it. That's the only difference, is that it's spelled differently in different languages, like many other cities are. Like Belgrade and Prague and Warsaw, like all those cities have different names and different languages. It's very normal. It's not like a political side, to spell a city a different way. But everything has to be super political. Anything else? Yeah, I got it backwards. Whatever. I don't know. Look, I'm trying to pronounce it, but I barely speak any Russian. So trying to distinguish, like, nobody can understand me. I go to a bar and I want пожалуйста, taco и белый русский. I went to the same place and I ordered the same fucking thing when I lived in Ukraine over and over again. Taco и белый русский. I want that. And they could never understand me. Пожалуйста, they could never fucking understand me ever. The first time that someone actually understood what I was trying to order, I was happy. So don't try to look at me as like an expert in pronunciation. I'm just saying that is the distinction. One language this way, other language this way. Both are correct. It just depends on what language you're saying. Anyways. Odessa, yeah. Well, you know how Odessa is spelled like this, right? Odessa. In Russian, it's two S's. It's in Ukrainian, it's one S. So if you spell it like this or this, that is also a massive political statement, because you're spelling it in a different language, even though the difference is one S in the name. It's truly bizarre. And they even inside Odessa, they actually have it different on all the different like road signs and shit, like the welcome to Odessa, it'll say like Odessa 10 miles, and then it has it with one S and two S. It's like Nobody on the face of the fucking planet is not gonna, because they're both in Cyrillic or whatever too, so it's not like they're in different texts. Nobody's going to be confused about what city they're going to. But for whatever reason, if you go to like Pole or whatever and you spell it with one S, you're going to get a Vatnik correcting you with two S's. It's like, what the fuck ever, man. Anyways. Because Ukrainian is barely a different language, narcissism with small differences. If you ask a Russian if they can understand Ukrainian, they're going to tell you no. Like, technically, like, Bavarian is the same as German. Technically, Irish is the same as English. Like, Irish dialect English is the same, but they sound very different. And Gaelic, like Scottish, is incredibly different. And I think Ukrainian is even more distinct from Russian than Gaelic English is from English, so... People have very strong opinions about shit that doesn't even fucking matter, and it blows my mind. It's so exhausting. If you want to talk about like Eastern European autism, talk about Serbian and Croatian. Same fucking language, almost identical. Croatians and Serbians get very, very upset if you refer to their language as the other. If you talk to a Serbian and you say like, "Oh, you speak Croatian?" I'm like, "No, I speak Serbian." You talk to a Croatian, "Oh, do you speak Serbian?" "No, I speak Croatian." To the point where like the official name of the language is like Serbo-Croat or something because they're both fucking spacks about it. People are too autistic. I am the only clear mind, slow beating heart on the planet that can sort these things out correctly. Do Croatians also use Cyrillic? I don't know about Croatians. The way, okay, just real brief. I don't want to spurg too much about shit that doesn't matter, but in Serbia, the young people tend to use Latin, and the government enforces Cyrillic. The government uses Cyrillic on everything, like money signs and government forms, but the young people all tend to use Latin, and I imagine it's probably the same in Croatia. Probably more so that they use Latin there because Serbia has like an alignment with Russia still. They're friendly with Russia, so they are more inclined to use Cyrillic to keep their culture distinct from the West. Just a thought. Croatia uses Latin like all civilized countries. Yeah, that's what I figured. Latin, like the regular alphabet they use for English. That's the Latin alphabet. The Cyrillic alphabet is what Russians use, and they use it for a couple other Eastern languages. GIF. I don't say GIF. I don't want to watch the scene in video. I will say this. I did see the thumbnail, and I'll just show that real quick. This still made me laugh out loud. The web of hate, and then there's the Kiwi Farms logo. You know what that that logo was made by a Sri Lankan man on Fiverr for $20 like 8 years ago, and now it's on CNN. Do you know how fucking funny that is? When I literally started laughing out loud, like until there was tears in my eyes when I saw this. I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched like a second of it and just stopped at this part because it was killing me. It was just it was too hysterical that my fucking Sri Lankan Fiverr logo is now on CNN under web of hate. Oh, and on my post, Mark Debbie Jack. Oh, this is funny too. There's little funny things that I forgot to coagulate. Okay, so Debbie Jackson complains that we doxed their 9-year-old. They are referring to a thread that was made in 2016 about this cover, which is a meme on like image boards and stuff. So this person waited for years and years to complain about how the Kiwi Farms ragged on her for truing out her kid. And then when she made this tweet, it went to the front page of Reddit and got like 21,000 upvotes. And then fucking Mark Hamill came out and said, "Ignore the haters, Debbie, # support trans kids." So I said, 2012, I should host the Christian Forum. I love the quickie. 2022, Mark Hamill thinks I am a terrorist. It's like, it's too surreal. It's too stupid to to even get upset over. Like, this is just retarded. Everyone is retarded. Nobody cares about what the truth is. They're just gonna like say whatever the fuck they want because we're all insane. We've all lost our mind. Patches will roll out when I have the site stable, which might be next week if I'm lucky. How long till Holly Dance comes out and complains? That would also be funny. Yeah, we doxed somebody on a magazine cover. Go figure. Lol, count down the Joshua Moon story. Yeah. You know what's funny is before that Mark Hamill tweet, I had called Keffel's Luke bathwater at some point because of the bathtub HRT and the fact their name is Luke, and then the real Luke bathwater comes out and tells this random person to ignore the haters. It is a small world, chat. You can will things into existence if you think about it too hard. All right, anything else, or can I start reading the super chats? I have a great outro song. I don't want to spoil it, but if you know what it is, you can probably already guess. Any interest thing between you and Commie Dick Girl? Commie Dick Girl supports the forum, so I use them for a quote for my press statement. That's what I was reaching out for. We're all artistic at this point. Yes, you are. Okay. We're doing green. We're doing chill mode, chat. Buckle up. Buckle up, buckaroo. Bongoloid from last Friday or Saturday or whatever gave $25 with no message. Thank you, Bongoloid. Frog God for 75 says 75 bones. Hey Josh, I hope you're doing okay. Those fuckers took my frog thread away from me and they will pay for it. If they do this again, this is to make sure your head stays up. Oh, and play Schizocraft, lol. I don't know what Schizocraft is, but I'm sorry about your frog thread. You know, I could, I have a domain that I've not used. I have a very short domain, dmz.hk, like demilitarized zone. And I was thinking maybe I should just get a version of the site up on dmz.hk that has only the off-topic boards and try to keep that up until things settle out. But really, the issue is the networking, so I can't promise that it would stay up even if I did that. I'm not in a super big rush to get the site up. The Onion is working very, very well, and for right now, there's nothing to take down. So the Spurgs are on Twitter, kind of petering out. Whitney for $1 says, "Thank you for everything. Wrapped up your birthday coins, Sneed, and all hail Nigga Cat." Oh, that's right. I have to get my coins. I'm testing out my remailer. My remailer failed at the first hurdle, so I don't know what to do anymore. I'm waiting for another coin, but it hasn't come in. I might just get an American that I trust to receive them directly. Someone who's already doxxed or whatever, and who doesn't mind getting weird shit in the mail. Anonymous for one says, "I had great ideas for posts to make on the Fediverse this week, but it was down. I am owed at least 7 likes. What an injustice." We got the Kiwi Farms.cc up finally, and as long as but you know it's not protected from DDoS or anything, so who knows if it will stay up. It's up right now. Feener did nothing wrong for 5 says, "Absolutely positively none of this would have happened if Tweezy was still mod. Q predicted this. The Sneed core never dies. Kill Rungle, etc." It's true. Maybe Tweezy had the insight to avoid all this drama. Yes, for one says, "I like steaks." Me too. By the way, for one says, "PSA URL to tip.matty.live." That is true. Some faggot for $100 says, "Thank you for putting up with all the bullshit, Josh. You are a real nigga and a hero. A lesser man would have given up long before now. Whatever happens, I hope you have a nice life." No. Well, me too. I also hope I have a nice life. Thank you for the support. I have received so many supportive emails. I would like to apologize if you sent me like an email that you thought was extremely nice, because I would not be able to get back to you just because of how many emails I get. Oh, cool. The guy that wrote the DDoS protection thing for Tor. sent me an email offering support. Cool. Great, wonderful. Sorry for peering out there. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the site should exist. It's silly. It's a silly place. It shouldn't be taken down because people don't like it. And especially not for the political agenda that they're obviously pushing for. Torrent for 5 says, good luck, Josh. If I had to guess why Prince changed his mind, maybe you calling for people to photograph his event last week had something to do with it. No, I don't think so. I think it has to do with that post because it happened right after it. But I'll never know because he never told me what it was. He never communicated anything. I even sent him 2 emails after the site was taken down saying, this is bullshit. And he didn't reply to those either. So it's a mystery. I will say this, though. I did reach out to the Irish Garda, and I received replies about the threat. So I reached out to cover my own ass. And quite frankly, fuck anyone who posts anything on the site that's like a violent, actionable threat like that because it's not funny, and you're causing me problems, and I don't feel bad for you. Some people on poll were complaining like Josh talks to the feds. Like, yeah, when I get a subpoena or you're like posting like psychotic bullshit on my site that causes me problems, I'm not gonna feel bad for you. How hard is it not to do that, you stupid fuck? Kiryuma for 10 says the queen died because she couldn't lurk anymore. It's true. I have this image actually. Oh no, I lied. I do not have this image actually. I'm gonna download it and put it on the screen because you gave me money, so I suppose I should put in a little bit of effort. Save as. Let's go to this. Downloads. Is it there yet? There it is. Polyfrog for 10 says, here's some shekels for the war chest. I stand with Kiwi Farms. Good luck with the Troon Wars. Thank you, Polyfrog. I need all the luck I can get. Base Ford Fiesta Enjoyer for $1 says, does it help you if we donate Odyssey coins to you? And thanks for being anti-fragile and standing up for your principles, Josh. Much love. Have a nice weekend. There was somebody who donated Odyssey coins. I suppose I should acknowledge that. It was quite a bit. Plutonium Gaming for 600 Odyssey points. I don't know how much that's worth. I think it's like 3 cents per token, so $20. Plutonium for 20 says, been working great on Tor and Brave. Thanks for all you do. Keeping the forums up, Josh. You're welcome. The Odyssey points that I receive, I put towards pinning new videos, so it does help in that way. And if they ever moon, I guess I'll have that money to cash out, but I don't cash them out right now. Though I do use them to support the archives that I have up. Spagendi for 5 says, with the forum down, Queen Elizabeth II truly had nothing left to live for and sadly passed this week. I can't wait to see her on the list. It's true. As we've acknowledged, Queen Elizabeth passed away from boredom, literally died from boredom in her castle, which could not connect to the Kiwi farms at that time. Polyfrog again for 10 says, Josh, you need to take responsibility for creating Troongate. They're now throwing their piss everywhere in protest of the forums. I accept no responsibility for the behavior of deranged perverts in real life. Herbert Steinstein for 10 says, thank you for keeping this gay, dead, and Chinese internet webpage. It's not very Chinese right now. We had okay, so this is true. The registrar for .top, if you go to nic.top, it's a purely Chinese webpage. And that's the registrar that we were using for Vanuatu at his suggestion, Nick the Lim suggestion. And that had brief routing issues that he identified coming from the NIC. And I said, maybe because they're Chinese, I should take down all the Chinese like meme stuff I have on the page, which is why I did that. Because I figured they've rerouted us. So I don't know if they changed their mind or if they passed it by like a censor who said, no, this is fine, don't worry about it. But I took it down just as a precaution because I don't know what the fuck happened, and I don't think we got a word as to actually what caused the NIC is a network information controller. It's the people that own the domains. Like VeriSign owns .com and .net. The NIC.top owns the .top domain, which is what KiwiFarms.top is using, and they're Chinese, so I think they freaked out because of the Chinese stuff. They didn't know if that would cause issues with the government. Nicholas Gervanovich for 10 says, hey, Nick Gur, keep up the good work. By the way, what's a good VPN you recommend? Thanks, Juice. Fuck Troons. if you go to privacytools.io, you'll get a list of VPNs that are suggested. I still use private internet access, even though they got bought by CyberGhost. They just recently passed an audit for their zero log policy. But CyberGhost is very untrustworthy in general, which is why I stopped advertising them. But I do use them myself. The G-Man for 11 says, the right side in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Moon. Wake up and smell the asses. Gross. That was, that's a reference to this real quick. To this video.
Rise, shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste.
This was when I was in high school, this was my alarm clock. Because when it starts out, it's like that really long, loud banging, crashing sound. So I have that reaction that you get from hearing something. I get very unpleasant feelings when I hear that sound because I've trained myself to hate it because it was my alarm clock. Anime for 5 says the Farms has returned to its ancestral homeland. Now all anime lovers can be sent to re-education camps. The animes got me in trouble this week. It was because of you fuckers. If I never welcomed I bet you that mother. Well, no, he didn't. He posted it once in the Christian thread. But if I had just banned all anime avatars, it'd be fine. Toilet Duck for 5 says, I sneed for the day that people can stop screaming and start listening to each other. Maybe we will have peace in our time. May you feast upon Subway banana peppers, and may Denny's welcome you warmly. I don't want to listen to people anymore. I want people to shut up. I've changed my mind. I'm tired of hearing people. They're too loud and noisy. You Are Great for 10 says, going to get an F for my dog who died. A very good boy. I see that I've reached that part of my super chat life cycle where I now get the dead pet messages unironically. Maybe it's ironically, I don't know. But F in the chat for the poor boy, the dog. Rest in peace. I know that it sucks to lose an animal. It is very painful. They're always there for you, aren't they? Twix Niggs Heads Toff for 20 says, do a playthrough of Sengoku Rants. No, that sounds like a bad idea. Isn't that like the rape game? Is that the joke? Go play the rape game. No. Spaghetti's a good-ass name for a dog for 25 says, nothing clever to say. I just appreciate you, everything you've done. Thank you, Spaghetti's a good-ass name for a dog. I appreciate it. Kennel Clubbers for 1776 says, you got this, Mr. Moon, and there are still good people who will help us fight the good fight and keep the site alive. Also, envision the silver that awaits. We believe in you. The site will definitely not go down before February 3rd, 2023, because that it's its 10th anniversary, and I will do everything that I can to keep it alive until then. But yeah, I at some point, I rely on other people to keep the site up, because you can't have a one-man internet. That's just not how it works. And Hyro for 5 says, so the commies cheering the demise of the Kiwi farms. Once you hand the powers to the banks, corporations, and Slate, they won't hesitate to come for you too. Speech is free for everyone, or it's free for no one. That is true. But they don't care. Like the people, like you look at how smug these people are when things they want happens. More specifically, when they get control of other people, they're so smug, unbelievably smug. Because like forward thinking isn't their prerogative. It's like, I just want to be gratified instantly. It's like a coom. 3 for 4 for 5. Their name was 3 for 4, number 4, 4. So 3 for 4 for 4, and then I have to say 4 5. Says, you'll never be a real woman. You have no womb. You have no ovaries. You have no eggs. You are a homosexual man twisted by drugs and surgery into a crude mockery of nature's perfection. I agree. Thank you. 3 for 4 for 4. Anonymous for 10 says, for your disgusting pizza. Oh man, I ordered it last week and I forgot the hollandaise sauce. And it's so bad without the hollandaise sauce. It's necessary. You don't understand. I will definitely put your money towards my hollandaise sauce. Thank you. Nick Gurr Faye Gott for 1488 says, how about some good news for a change? I agree. I have my coin still, actually. I keep it. I'm gonna make it lucky if I have to. No, ting. There we go. I'm bouncing it on my thumb. The smaller the contact area is, the more vibration you get. It's a nice coin, but it's bent a little bit, so that's why it's my fondle change now. Michael for 10 says, Kiwi Farms is an important deterrent for retards. Hope to see it back online soon. Also, have you heard Israel by Ween? It would make a good intro song. No, I haven't. I've listened to Ween's entire discography. When did they make a song called Israel? 2005. I don't know if I've never heard Shinola, the album. I thought for sure I've heard their entire discography, though. That's strange. I'll listen to it. Anonymous for 1 says, first they ignore you, then they mock you, then you attack, they attack you, then you win. If you kill your enemies, they win. That's the truth. Holo for 8 says, Joshua Legend, keep it up. Fuck Troons, Lucas is a man. Thank you, my friend. I agree. Twinkletard for... Oh, God, my page is horribly out of date because this is several... Oh, my Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't realize how many super chats I got during the stream. Hold up. Let me reorient myself. Sorry, I didn't even acknowledge this when it happened on the actual live. Twinkletard for $500. Ashton, $500. $500. That's a lot of money. I always when people give me a lot of money like that, I always think back to when I worked at like fast food. I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I remember when I got my paychecks were like $300 for the entire week, and that was like toiling over a hot fry basket making Frenchy fries for fat Americans. Chat. B Jams. Where does he get his money? V Jams. He says the past week has really opened my eyes to a lot of shit. God bless you, man. Thank you. I think it's opened the eyes of a lot of people to a lot of things, because the message that I keep seeing over and over again, and it's from many different people in many different places, is that before Cloudflare took us off and .NET was still available, was I went to this site, I looked at these threads, I saw a lot of mean things, but I didn't see anything violent, anything, terrible, anything that was described in this article. And that is the truth. And the phoenix shall rise. And I hope that when it does, the media doesn't have the gas to like double down on this. Because I don't know if I mentioned this before last stream, but I'll reiterate it. I have the strongest fear that I have is that the government will just make up a charge to stick to me. But then I think about 8chan, and I think about how even with all the shit that happened on 8chan, and the actual fucking mass murders and shit, and the child pornography, and all the terrible things that happened with 8chan that I saw firsthand, Jim Watkins is still free. He walked into the House of the United States of America, the House of Representatives, and he walked out. And I guess he has more resources in a way, but there's nothing illegal about these sites. And I've always strongly discouraged fucking with people. I've discouraged things that people get upset with me about for discouraging. Like, I'm being a buzzkill. This is just the reality of it. So who knows? I try to be optimistic, and I think that people are waking up. Because the Prime Minister of the UK is like openly transphobic now, just saying like, yeah, women are women and trannies aren't women, and they can try to be women if they want. Who cares? But for real, fuck them. So, I do think the tides are turning. This is so stupid. It breaks the suspension of disbelief for a lot of people. Despite how much you see the fucking journos pushing their lies and shit, what happens when they congregate in real life? There's like 3 people having a picnic, and they can't even eat their tranny cake, and they throw it away, and they go home, and that's it. Whimsy for 25 says, Simplified Josh, been a farmer since 2017 when the Schmorky drama spilled into Tumblr. Shout out to the bitches in the salon and the Munchausen's by internet thread. I love how chill your streams are. Thank you. I try to be chill. I just want to relax and talk about retards on the internet. That's all I ever wanted. Igor Bogdanov for one says, you did well to take the call. Things are in motion. It's true. When your phone rings and you see Bogdanov on the other side, you know your phone disables the hang up button. It's just going to keep ringing until you answer. Anonymous for 10 says, appreciate you putting up with all this drama. I wish I had half your stubbornness and resourcefulness. Well, you can't. I don't know. I think everybody can be stubborn if they want to. You just have to have a line that you don't cross. I mean, the amount of emails I've got of people just saying, like, I wish I could be stubborn like you is strange, too. It's like, you can. Good news. If that's what you actually want, you can very easily. Large Child for 3 says, time for chill boy autumn. I better see more lol calm down responses on the forum. I'm always calm. I just write like an asshole. I have a vocal tone of like a psychopath who murders people, but I promise you that I just write in a very concise and blunt way. Anonymous for 15 says, thanks for staying resilient, Josh. Long live the Kiwi farmers. Thank you, Anonymous. Hopefully we'll be around for a bit longer. Member for 15 says, you have a medical diagnosis, terminally chill. That's neat. On an unrelated note, base Ukumers represent tip-tops and Rurus can't deal. It's true. The Onion is the most stable version of the site now for whatever reason, because of all the dark magic that I've been doing. By the way, I took off the seal of Solomon from the bottom of the page because a schizophrenic from the X board informed me that the seal of Solomon is a summoning seal as well as a controlling and repellent seal. So they hypothesized that I might have welcomed demons into my website by putting it there. So I've simply removed it and I put a little ASCII cross because why not? Hopefully the demons will now fuck off. I'm done with it. So I don't know if that's true, but I'm not risking it. That's true. Okay. Soapbox says it's true. Swiss Army seal. Summoning seal is okay. The schizophrenics have my back on this now. The chat schizophrenics. I done goofed. I know. I just went to keep demons away, chat. But what's the saying? The road to hell is paved in good intentions. It do be like that. Anonymous for 20 says, the Queen saw a Keffel stream and said, that's the last straw. Keffels goes to Northern Ireland and kills the royalty. Shame, isn't it? Fred Figglehorn for 5 says, I never donate to streamers, but I really appreciate what you're doing. I've seen so many right-wing people call for the forums being destroyed. Even people like England are crying about harassment. Well, I don't know. England, like, I pulled up the screen cap of him saying that he wants to impregnate 13-year-olds because the only way to save the white race is to groom little girls into being breeding slaves with no purpose or education or sense of fulfillment in life besides having kids. It's very important to do that. I don't know. I think they're all retards. Like, I've never seen anything from England that's like, yes, absolutely, that's right. We should rally behind this. And I've forced myself to read a lot of the Daily Stormer because it was in my sphere for a while. So, and I heard it was such a good blog, so influential. I read it, and it's just like, I don't know. He like prints out like 4 things a day that are all short and full of memes and stuff. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm gaining anything from this. It's very much a blog that reinforces what people already want to believe, and it doesn't challenge you in any way. It's just like NBC. NBC comes out and says the Kiwi Farms is a swatting website that kills trannies every day, and everyone's like, oh my god, I'm so glad it's dead, yes. And then you read like the Daily Stormer and it's just like, the heckin' nignogs raped and murdered again, when we need to get rid of black people to save the white race. And everyone's just like, yes, I hate black people, woo. And it's like, okay, that might be a good opinion to have or whatever, according to whoever. But I don't see it as something that really enlightens you. I see it as something that entertains you if you already think that way. And there's no point to that to me. I don't read things that just like soothe and pacify my predispositions, because I already know that what I believe is right, so I don't need people to tell me that what I believe is right. I'm more interested in what people have to say that's contradicting what I believe. Anyways, but yeah, Ralph crying about it is a given. Ralph's a bitch. I think Nick Fuentes is probably the only person on the right who has a legitimate reason to not like the forum, who didn't say anything particularly about how that's a good thing. So I don't know. I have a lot of reservations about Nick Fuentes, but he was the least. And what's funny is that Nick Fuentes said like the least retarded thing in regards to the site going down that he could have in his position, and because it wasn't inherently negative and celebrating that the site was down, Ralph had to find some like weird way to suck Keffel's dick and Nick Fuentes' dick at the same time, and that's really funny. So I appreciate Nick Fuentes dragging his balls on Ralph's face for us. Polyfrog, again for $10, says, the ADL used your website like a springboard not only to wipe the Kiwi Farms archive from the internet, but also racist websites as well. Oy vey. The ADL has made one tweet. I think that they know. They know that they need us. They know. Speaking of Nick Fuentes, how else will they know about Catboy shenanigans if not for us? Speaking of ADL, Jared Holt, my boy from Tel Aviv, the Tel Aviv Tiger himself, says, for $25. And as an investigative journalist, I find the brave and important Cloudflare picnic being accosted by police. What? Really? You're a different guy than the guy who posted the other videos that I used. This is true. Okay, fine. You gave me $25. I will sit here and I will download this fucking video and see what this says. Let me make sure that I'm gonna turn off my audio and my thing. I don't want to play this if it's like horrific. Oh yeah, those are police. I didn't even notice that. Hold up. Let's see. I'll open this on and no. Fuck. See, open with NPC. I didn't even notice this. No, you're the same guy as before, but I did not notice this. Look at this. Look at this, I said, in an increasingly desperate way. Why does this not work at all? Why does nothing work? Okay, let me try the other one. Ah, that works. Okay, perfect. Delete this. Studio mode. Oh god, the green filters makes all those banners in the background look red with white circles. That's very funny. Look, you can barely see it, but those are police over there in the uniforms talking to the 7 trannies who are doing their Cloudflare protest. Why would they even bother? They're just having a little picnic. Can't believe that they're intervening in democracy like this, chat. Oh, it's not even playing. Oh, I'm using the wrong player, that's why. There we go. Check it out. Can I zoom in? Zoom, video frame, zoom to. Oh no, now I can't. Move up. No, that's the wrong way. There it is. There it is, chat. You see them? See my boys? The Australian police shaking down the troons. Look, Liz Fong Jones shaking his hands in anger. We have a permit to protest. You can't do this to us. Very shocking, chat. That those poor troons were hassled, exercising their democratic right to having a picnic. Anyways, yeah, thank you for recording that, Jared Holt, my boy. Medicare Masochist for 20 says, I am scared. Why is he getting his money? This is scary, and I don't know why he's doing this. B-jams. B-jams. Goes on a B-bomb. B-jams. I am so scared. Why? Last things that Andy Worski said before getting punched by a Filipino. Annan for 20 says, good luck with everything. Thank you very much, Annan. All Seeing Eyes for $1 says, shout out Lithium Cactus. There you go. That would explode in contact and moisture. Blessing for 10 says, simplify with a green heart. Thank you, Blessing. Notorious NAP for 10 says, can you play the new Mac Jarbo song as the outro? Don't spoil it, you fuckhead. Jesus. Anonymous for one says, I'm getting more of a belly button smell on the impossible vagina than I am getting on the actual belly button. No. That's fucking gross. By the way, spoiler, for my Gumroad content, I'm going to be doing a Impossible Whopper review. No kidding. I'm not going to actually eat on camera, though, but you're just going to get my review of the Whopper. I'm going to eat a burger. Small Kitten for 10 says, my cat named Mittens is currently on life support with monkeypox, COVID, and AIDS. Please give him a shout out. Also, other than hollandaise on pizza, tell us about another weird food habit you enjoy. I'm a very omnivore person. I eat everything. The only thing I don't like is like whole octopus, or even like little whole octopus. I don't like whole things, or like eyeballs, just like gross shit. But I'm very open-minded with food. And I'm very sorry to hear that your cat Mittens is a sodomite. Polyfrog for 5 says, Josh, you need to go on Tucker Carlson. This is the start of the next stage of the culture war. This is bigger than you. Please, man, go there and stand up to these wild people. Well, he's not offered, but I'm pondering what I would do because I really don't want my face to be out there. I look quite different nowadays. Sad Thug for 1 says, Josh, can you please send your condolences to my friend Daquan? He was thug hunted yesterday, and now his ass is on a t-shirt crying. His ass is on a t-shirt. I've never heard that expression, but I know exactly what you mean. Because whenever a black guy dies, all their friends and homies print out the t-shirt with their face on it. And they're always like a gangster throwing like gang signs and shit, and like the worst photo ever. Sneed Feed 'em for 10 says, Keffels is just upset that Winter isn't falling for the same shit he tried to pull to groom kids on Discord. Oh, he's obviously frustrated that his bullshit got called. Haram Burger for 2 says, nice, didn't know you would stream today. In the few hours, Keffels is going to be interviewed on the H3 podcast by Ethan Klein, and I will be banned on the internet twice today. Now match my salary to cat parties. You know, speaking of Ethan Klein, you may not have heard this before. But Ethan Klein is married to a woman named Hila Klein, and she used to be a member of the IDF, and this is a video of her doing her tour of duty in Israel. It is my personal headcanon that Keffels has been invited onto the H3 podcast because he knows that I play that video every single time his wife is mentioned. Spine.exe for 5 says, I put money on JKR having a KF account. Probably not an account, but I bet you they've read a couple threads. In which case, JK Rowling. Cough up. I'm doing the Lord's work, okay? You got enough. My last name is literally Potter, according to some sources. You can't, it's meant to be. You can't say no. Cozy Farms for 2 says, we love you, Josh. Also, please subscribe to my Telegram channel, t.me/Cozy Farms. I've not been there. I don't know what's there. I don't trust it. But there you go. He paid $2 for that. So if there's like child porn, don't blame me. Muggsy for 10 says, God save the Queen. Because she's dead. That's in poor taste. There's a funny meme I saw of a British person saying, Queen dies peacefully in her sleep at 96 as the longest living monarch in her palace. And then the picture of like all the IRA guys in Ireland doing the soy faces because they're happy about it, even though she lived about as full of a life as possible. Gotta step it up, Irish bros. You're not looking good. Your sin fine is sucking the T-girl peen. You know how it is. It's quite dire over there in Ireland. Direland, more like it. Small Kitten for 10 says, top 3 in Dota 2 characters. Also, do you prefer playing carry, offlane, mid, or support? If mid, I'd probably wrecked you in the past on Russian or ECU or servers meow. I do not like hard carry or hard support. I like kind of like a utility damage dealer, either like very high disables or high damage. I like Hoodwinked the most. I haven't gotten to play in several weeks though. I like Hoodwinked and Dazzle. and that's about it right now. I also like Pangolier, but I suck at him, so I don't play him too much. But he's fun to play. Kate Hikes for 10 says, thank you, China, for the many gifts. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Joshua Connor Moon. Ching Chong Ping Pong. Chinks over Jews. Go Bricks. You're welcome from my people in China. Free Slave Labor for 10 says, Josh, do you need any HTML, CSS, JS, or Sneed for 100% WebAssembly? It's not WebAssembly. It's Rust on the back end. But I hate these people and want to help. Lately, I've been coding on the weekend, so I have free time to burn. I don't have any need for JavaScript right now, I don't think. I haven't been working on Sneed for in a while. I probably won't be able to for a while. But if things calm down and I get to... I have to, because the Zen Forum people are... I have to get updates to the forum eventually. I don't want to work on the forum to add things that it needs when I'm going to have to... I can't update it because they banned us. So I'm going to have to work on it eventually if it stays up. But it's an open source project. Anonymous for 1316 says, stay strong, Moon. It's always easier fooling people than convincing them they are being fooled. But you will make it. You have truth on your side, and that actually matters. Well, hopefully. We'll see. I'm hanging in there the best I can. Amberlynn Reed for 10 says, leave the L's alone, Josh. Get GBT maps are your true enemy. What did I say about lesbians? LGBT. Okay, you just said GBT map, so everything but the L's. I don't think I said anything negative about lesbians except for Amberlynn Reed, who has lesbian bed death, which is a thing. I don't know why you're saying I'm being mean. That's just the reality of the situation. There's no point to a woman. There's no point having like a sexual relation for long if there's not going to be like a child in the marriage. Never Forget for 5 says, when I was a kid, people weren't trying to ruin each other. They were taught how to deal with mockery. We weren't obsessed with politics, but now I only have things like your streams to keep me safe. Thanks. Yeah, it's true. The internet has lost its fucking mind, and now it's spearheaded by complete retards. It's very sad. Shaggy Rogers for 5 says, like Zoinks Josh, those trainings give me the heebie-jeebies. Have a Scooby snack for BTFOing the trainings. Thank you very much. I will. Kiwi Vovk. What the fuck is that trying to say? Kiwi Vovk for 5 says, seeing all these retards doing a victory lap for the death of the Kiwi farms is really a Dewey defeats Truman vibes. They can try to rewrite history, but they will live on as legends. If they want to say the sites down, I'll let them. I don't care. Simple as. Mumsnetter for 10 says, rooting for you, Josh. Thank you, Mumsnet. I know that the turfs are looking on from Mumsnet because of the implications that it has. They're already talking about it, basically. On Twitter, people are saying, why don't we go after this site next? Why don't we go after this site next? Which sucks. Hopefully by the time Mumsnet's actually in trouble, I'll be in a position where I can actually start turning around and offering help to other people. Anonymous for 10 says, Final Solutions LLC sounds like a company that knows how to get things done. I don't know what the big deal is. That's the point. It was supposed to be a final solution to the host in question. Simple as. Catboy Cum Dump for 15 says, Kiwi farms will never die. No, I'll never say never. I know a lot of people like to say that, but I've never said that the forum can't die. There are very real loss conditions that we suffer under, and I try not to tempt fate. Spine.exe for 5 says, if I made a bunch of discreetly designed KF stickers, can I send them to you, your PO box? I'll email you, but I don't want to cut the vinyl and harass you about it if you don't want them. I still have stickers from the last run. I haven't planted them anywhere. Yeah, thank you, though. I would recommend just sticking them up places where it would amuse you. Joshua Connor Moon for 12 says, I love all my smitten kittens, heart emoji. There you go. Smitten kitten sounds like it has an innuendo. I don't trust it. Tanuki Motivational Speaker for 10 says, keep smiling, friends, even if you're falling. It's okay. There's a trampoline waiting for you. Keep having fun. They will never break you. There's a song. Is this Tub Thumping? Trampoline by Kiro Benito. It's like British. Sounds like a TikTok song. Gives me that vibe. Something that was popularized on TikTok. Kiro Benito Trampoline, if you like really light British people singing. Ice Mexican for 10 says, tuned in late, buddy. Glad you're still persevering, though. It looks like the literal entire system is trying to take us down. I hate the Antichrist. I'm trying my best. Thank you, though. Big Mouse for 20 says, thank you, Josh, for keeping our autistic outlet. I will support as much as I can. Thank you very much. I need all this. Funnily enough, like, I will gladly accept whatever people want to give me right now, because I don't know what I'll need in the immediate future, but it's not even a money thing. If it was a money thing, I would say it's a money thing. I need $20,000 to bring the site up. I would just say that. I would crowdfund it. If it doesn't make that money, then clearly it's not meant to be. But the issue is more complicated than that. And the issue is that other people who can't really be bribed with any specific amount of money need to grow some balls. Karyuma for 25 says, thank you, Josh, for keeping the forum up and bringing back the Fediverse smiley face. You're welcome. That was kind of a thing, because people are yelling, because Post allows lolicon. So fucking Dick Masterson tweeted out some shit about how I am a hypocrite because I'm on a lolicon site. And it's like, bro, it's called Any Port in the Storm. So I was thinking, fuck, okay, the network's back up. I guess I might as well bring up the Fediverse, because I don't want to eat shit for being on Post. Like, I know they allow lolicon. I've chastised Graph for it, but he's an anime avatar, so he doesn't get it. He'll get it one day when they start causing problems for him, but for right now, that's not my fight. It's not my site, and I'm doing the best that I can. It has fucking all that. Yeah, the Post does. And that's why I don't try to like recommend, like, it's an anime instance, so of course it has lolicon. You don't, there's no such thing as anime without lolicon. Not Petya for 5 says, I'm just here for the weekly slow death of the internet stream, and good luck with the site. Thanks for keeping fat shaming alive. Nepietya. Oh, Nepietya, not Petya. Okay, I understand. You're welcome. Thank you. I do try to keep fat shaming alive as much as possible. Oh, did my internet crap out? I'm back up. Oh, wait a second. Polyfrog. Oh, geez, that's me. I refreshed the thing to make sure I was still up. Anonymous for $1 says something that it says, hey, Josh, I need you to say something. And then say it like you mean it. Thanks, Josh. What you have asked me to say is contrary to my nature, and you cannot bribe me to say it for $1. It has something to do with VTubers. That's all I'll say. If you saw it on screen, you saw it, but I'm depriving you. You have to pay more than that. BJams for 10 says, Frederick Brennan is trying to cancel Keffels for failed doxing Winter right now, and Keffels just wrote him off as an 8chaner. Ironic. I have no comment on that. I don't want to give any of those people attention, really. Polyfrog for 5 says, in the stream with this new... I will. Calm down. Stop spoiling it, okay? Jeez. Lycanthrope for 5 says, I need to give my dog 200 milliliters of saline through my IV twice per week. She's fine. It's temporary. Today, I accidentally stabbed myself with a used needle. Is this how I become a furry? Is there a cure? You got dog pox, my friend. You're going to start slobbering at the mouth. That's why you're a lycanthrope. You're turning into a dog already because you stabbed yourself with a used needle. Dahmer for 5 says, here's your allowance kitten, smiley face. Thanks, Dahmer. I appreciate it. Jack Tucson for 10 says, hey Josh, last week you mentioned how your devices listen to what you say and give your ads or recommendations based off that. And I wanted to let you know that I'm getting ads for BetterHelp after rocking out. What? Is BetterHelp even still around? That's surprising. Anonymous for 5 says, glad that the Josh X Gem stream is going to happen next week. I know you have your differences, but you two really formed my early adult life on the internet, smiley face. Yeah, it's exciting. I like Gem. I don't have anything against him. He seems to have warmed up to me in like the last couple weeks. I'm not sure why. Maybe he's a secret fan of the podcast. Who knows? That's a welcome change. I never tried to be a dick to him, I don't think. Maybe a little bit. It's not entirely honest, but... ANN Articles and News did nothing wrong for 20 says, it's a great achievement managing to keep the site alive. Also shout out to all the posters in the Jack's Kalamfi thread. It has some of the best writing on the site. Yeah, I'm trying my best. I've mentioned this. People keep saying, complimenting me on keeping the site up. It's like, yeah, I'm trying my best. When they say that, I always get anxious and I refresh the site to make sure that it's still there on the Onion. And it is. I'm very thankful for that. And there's 500 people, about a third of the usual Yeah, about a third. That's surprising. No, wait, no, a fourth. Okay, 25% is pretty good for getting people on Onion, but it's hard to. You can't really count like offline users and stuff. But yeah, it's okay. It'll be okay. We'll have enough content that when the site comes back up, people will spring back and read it all and stuff, and it'll be okay. After a couple of weeks, it'll return like it did when Vordrak initially took down the site a couple years ago. Anonymous for 10 says, thanks for everything you do, Josh. Also, what are the odds I can get Barb to send me my Sneed commission? You're fucked on. Are you the one that commissioned the picture of the Sneed Sneed Speed and Seed, and you got like a weird story about how Sneed and Chuck were fucking each other, and Chuck had Sneed had died from like obesity related complications. It was really weird. The store was like run down, and the car was like on cinder blocks and shit. Truly, it was very it was very weird how I took that and I thought it was funny. I posted it on TV and I said, this is a drawing from Chris and it's a Sneed Seed and Feed. And I thought you guys would like it. And someone replied about the incest that Chris had written about in association with the commission, that it's very weird how whites are like self-hating and they latch on to the incest shit. But now, in retrospect, now that I think about it, like that was like projection. He was projecting incest onto Sneed and Chuck, and that's like the weirdest fucking thing ever. Now that I think about it. So that's some deep cut, quick lore for you, for anyone interested. Since the Quickie's been down as well, you have to get what you can at this point. Dean Winchester for 5 says, instead of the Seal of Solomon, put the Devil's Trap on the page. BTFO, the Homo Demons. What is the Devil's Trap? I've never even heard of this. Devil's Trap. Ooh, that looks satanic though, because it has the I know it's the right side up, but it looks sussy baka. It's also, people would immediately think that it's a reference to Supernatural, because apparently that was in that show. I will stick to my little ASCII crucifix at this point. Turbo Neil Breen for 10 says, hey Josh, my wife would like to make you an amigurumi kiwi. Is that something you would be interested in? I looked this up because you sent me a message and I didn't reply. Sorry, that's very rude of me. But it's like a thing where you like sew beads on together. I don't know. I can't accept gifts is the hard thing. I can't have people mail to my address. I don't know. Maybe if I find a way to do the silver thing, because my box idea sucked. I'll just have people send stuff to some guy in the U.S. and he'll mail it as like a thing for me. Who knows? No, like no promises though that I can do that. If that's like, if me receiving it is like a determining factor if she makes it. Kiriyuma for 5 says, the queen reincarnated as the child of Trisha Paytas. That baby has not been born yet. Don't you dare say that the baby. By the way, the baby's been conceived for months now. So Trisha Paytas' baby is not the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth. Fumio Kishida for 3 says, what are your thoughts on splinter sites such as the Onion Farms? The Onion Farms is the Kiwi Farms on the Onion. I don't know what you're talking about. Roll Panna for 10 says, hey Josh, thanks for everything you do to keep the Kiwi Farms running. Is there anything else I can do to support you and the farms beyond donations? I enjoyed Maddie this week. Have a great weekend. Republic of Korea flag. No. Not unless you have some kind of connection in the Korean data center industry to get me back online. I'm looking for a place to broadcast an IPv4 range in case you do have that. But I think South Korea has strange laws about privacy and stuff that probably wouldn't work. But if I'm wrong, let me know. I don't know too much about Korea, except they are trying to make movies now, and they're sometimes good. Not always, though. I think that's it. There's a lot of donations. This is probably the record of donations, which I really appreciate. For a very stressful week, so I'm counting this as a paycheck. And that's it. I'm done. My voice is breaking now. I have to stop. It's been 2.5 hours, mostly because of how many fucking super chats I got. Hopefully I don't turn this into a super chat stream. It's already... that's what I was afraid of when I started doing super chats. But as people repeatedly spoiled throughout the stream, there is a new MC Jarbo song about Ethan Ralph and Keffals, Queen Keffals, as he likes to say. So I will be playing that for my outro song. This is "The Gunt No Woman to Me" featuring Notorious HRT. Perfect. And what's funny is I've listened to this a couple times. It's actually a really good remix. And Keffals' like super monotone like vocal fry is perfect for remixing into songs like this. So here is "The Gunt" featuring Notorious HRT, "No Woman to Me." And I will see you guys next week, assuming that I am not hit with a nuke or a drone strike until before then. So take it easy. Bye-bye.
This shit. This is my love song. Wait. Oh, hold on. Wait.
What's wrong?
No, you're not mixing it up properly.
What?
Come on.
What do you mean? What you think?
Oh, fuck. Damn it. Girl, come out of hiding. Cause who the fuck would even go fly to Ireland? When there's such a thing as Epstein Island, where you can get as much drug, sex, and violence, and we can crash there, girl, that's decided. And you can hit the bathtub if you can find it. Yeah. The bar's open now, it's room drinks provided. To every kid, turn them all into some weird cross-gender hybrids. Am I short-sighted, or does your body look like a blind first-year college student designed it? I hope they put a zipper inside it. I only smash puss with a visible hymen, but I'm so excited. Girl, we can fuck rough. You'll never have half as many kids as I did with all the anxiety. Jack off to your CNN shit. That was just impeccable time. And look at the facts, dude. I got my battle scar in blue. You got your axe wound. So to transform back and be a bad move. Plus, if you can be a bitch, I could learn to be a man too. Rip off the band-aid, drag your trans ass to the ballet, and then put my mayonnaise up in your man cave. That's clearly man-made, but maybe go get checked, cause it seems you're in a bad way. Ain't no woman, cause you ain't no woman. Ain't no woman to me. 41, 42, 43. It's not even close. You ain't no woman. No woman to me. No woman. I still love you. No woman to me. Some of you say you got wrecked, son, but I just want to show you love and affection. Now let me spread the wide for an inspection. You're my kind of car crash. Hit and run in that place that you ain't get wet from. The cold place that you ain't never bled from. That place that you off to shit the bed from. Cause it was once probably part of your reg. Tub bitch, get your legs up in the air. Yeah, no thumbs in the rear. Like baked Alaska's in here. And we invited Blair, invited fucking Sophia. Now let's bring back my garbage career. Stand with you in the clouds, fight off the flare. Get these bitch ass clowns the fuck out of here. Then take you out to the seaside for some ice cream and some cream pie. Yeah, west side to the east side. They call it true shine. I never knew why. I used to be known as a poop guy. Now I'm known for sticking my bone up in suit guys. Cause you ain't no woman. Ain't no woman to me. 41, 42, 43. You ain't no woman.
Farms fucking lands to this water. Josh, you can cancel that order. How many dads that thought it was just a bath full of water ended up with a goddamn man for a daughter? Ethan, I know you want it. Before I start talking about all of this pedophile shit, I can hear your lips smacking a bit, and it's really obvious you want to suck my dick, eat my mutilated balls, and the bean that don't flip. If you like everything you're seeing, nigger, don't trip, cause I get a hold of preteens waiting for a sip, way better than a simple Latino called Nick in a pile of kids. That's the only way that this Twitter hypocrite could ever get a lip, penis, or tits. How the fuck do you pick? Decide quick before the good doc goes snip, snip.
Ain't no woman. You know who ain't no goddamn woman.
Baby. Ooh, that's why you love me.
My fart queen. You ain't no woman. Ain't no